No, I
Hi,
mean,
Michael.
I thought we were death in the ropes in the channel.
we can start now. So,
There it is.
okay, we are starting Temple of Tepok here today, so that's it. It should take about 10 3 to 4 hour sessions, I think. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. After that, we'll see what we'll do next. From like on my part, 99% it won't be Warhammer, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
Getting kind of tired of that, honestly. But for now, yeah, we continue. So, spend your XP, Gustav.
I got a common knowledge Reichland.
Johannes.
I'm going to take swim
Mm-hmm.
because I assume I learn it on a boat ride,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I'll take +5 toughness.
Okay. So swim. Yeah, because you've learned it along the way to Marienburg, sure. And Lambert, what about you?
I took Streetwise, plus 10% when dealing with the underworld, and I took Swashbuckler, which is jumping and leaping as a half action, and I add 1 yard to the distance.
Okay, cool. That's definitely interesting. Okay.
The required talents for my career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Who's making notes today?
Today is my last one. Oh shit! I gotta upload.
Okay.
1 sec. I got him here.
Today's your last one? Cool.
Cool.
Woo!
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
boat there.
Let me open these up real quick.
Okay, why won't it let me fucking...
What's that?
That is the best birthday present.
1, 2, that's 2.
Happy birthday, man.
Ah, I see. That's today. Okay. Sorry, I'm just being a little bit dumb. Just being a little stupid. That's all.
No worries. So, document is up.
Map Marienburg.
You spent a day and a half buying various things, gearing yourself up. You're no longer destitute, or you no longer look like beggars. You actually have some good gear on you, including Marla, of course. She also has like stuff. You're all just in coats, if I remember correctly. You have blankets, backpacks, things that you need to reach Marienburg safely, and then later they will probably be also useful during your trip to Lustria. At early evening, the same day that you finished your shopping, and after Johannes sent all the letters, you went to the northern dockside near the Basti Barbarossa tavern, and there you've met with Captain Deon Strauch from None State Army, an no-nonsense man, leading a contingent of 30 state troopers. Approximately half of them, handgunners, the rest armed with sword and board. Well, sword, I mean, some have axes, others have maces and swords. Strauch he wasn't exactly sympathetic to you. He told you very quickly, and he got to the point that your passage has been paid for. That said, he expects complete obedience and lack of causing trouble. If there will be any fighting, you are to go under the deck and wait for the fighting to stop. You are not to interfere with his men's duties, and he looked at Marla, especially when he was saying that. No cards playing, no drinking, nothing. It would be best if you would be invisible. And after that, of course, the food and drink along the way was included in the payment. So yeah. The soldiers on their part, they really didn't acknowledge you as well. Sure, if you talk to them or ask them something, then they usually replied curtly, sometimes not so curtly. There were also 4 other smaller boats surrounding the Gerlinda, the cargo barge filled with gunpowder. Oh, by the way, no smoking on board. By the way, Strauch told you that if he would see anyone with a pipe, he would just shoot them. Sorry, not shoot them because it's gunpowder. He would stab them and throw them overboard. No questions asked. So yeah. That said, there were also 4 escort boats, so to speak. They were manned by experienced rivermen, as I've mentioned in the letter. These men were much less disciplined. When they saw Marla, for example, many of them whistled. But they also kept themselves during the 40 or so day voyage. You stopped along the way near in the riverside taverns. So of course, those of you who wanted to stay on board the barge, they were very welcome to do so. No problem. But honestly, the trip was kind of boring. Nothing really happened. Gerlinda was so fortified and so well manned, not to mention those 4 escort boats, that no one tried to give you any trouble. There were a few close encounters. For example, you once heard that one of the rivermen on a nearby boat shouted, "River troll! River troll!" It was like in the middle of the of your voyage to Marienburg, and a few there were even like few you've heard a few handgun shots after you went down under the deck, but nothing happened after that. You don't know if that was indeed a troll, or maybe if the troll just got scared and driven away by the gunfire. Fortunately, as I said, no river pirates, no wreckers, nothing like that. In all the taverns and riverside inns, it was also mostly chill. Speaking of chill, the further north you traveled, or rather northwest, the more the empire became different. You've passed deserted or even completely destroyed villages and hamlets by the river. You've entire swathes of forests were burned to the ground. There were even a few times you even saw grim view of bodies hanging over the water from the branches. With you don't know if those people were hanged by the authorities. You've heard rumors that the further north you go, the more draconic imperial law becomes after the war, and that even something like trying to steal a loaf of bread usually warrants death. But few of said bodies that you've encountered had signs of them. They were usually half-eaten, horribly mutilated, and branded with icons that you weren't able to look upon for too long because your eyes began to hurt. So when when that happens, you've heard that. So the soldiers and they on Strauch, some of them muttered prayers. They grabbed hammer pendants and general, holy icons that hang around their necks or that were wrapped around around their weapons. But yeah, eventually, after more than a month, you've reached a very familiar view to you, Gustav. The marshes. It's already practically winter, and even though it is winter, the moment you've entered the marshes near Marienburg, in the wasteland, you kind of still felt, like it's probably slightly too warm for this time of year. your escorts became much more wary of your surroundings. After all, in the gloom and the fog, who knows what awaits. And you probably also wondered if there are some kind of horrible monsters or even worse things hiding in the in this desolate vista. But fortunately, nothing like
It's just a family.
nothing like that happened to you. And so after approximately give or take 40 days, in the middle, or rather late afternoon, sorry, you've encountered, you've spotted the huge walls of Marienburg emerging from the mist, from the gloom.
It's pretty big, I guess.
It is. I mean, they're similar to, probably in scale, to outdoor city walls, if naturally looking slightly different. Gustav, you can roll me common knowledge Marienburg, I think, if you want.
I have a common knowledge wasteland. So.
Yeah, sure. You can roll that.
Okay. I'll use a luck. This is my hometown.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay!
Nice. You've almost fell overboard
bad.
when you've spotted the walls for the first time, but unfortunately, one of the soldiers grabbed you by the collar just in time, and he yanked you back onto the deck, gruffly saying to you, "Should be more careful," stuff like that. You remember, Gustav, that you remember rumors that the city walls supposedly have been reinforced or partially made by dwarves, and that they indeed have runes, sealed within them, or maybe even inscribed on them. You're not really sure. You don't know what for, but yeah, they there you go. Because, for example, in Aldorf, the runes on cities walls, runes made by dwarves, are clearly visible. In fact, and they are, it is said that the city never fell. Well, in a few, like in the last 100 or 200 years, or a few hundred years at least, mostly because of this dwarven runes. Okay, I don't know if you share this with the rest of your group. Just
Yeah.
Just
I don't know much about runes, but I will share it as a little gee whiz fact about the walls of the city.
Yeah.
The walls have been blessed by Sigmar's friends.
Yeah. It is indeed true. It also makes sense because Marienburg was once an imperial city. Now it's independent. It's been independent for like 200 plus years, probably, give or take. But it once belonged to the empire, and there are of course still sentiments from some imperials as to the reunification. Make it the 51st state and all that jazz.
It's our cherished
Yeah.
51st province.
Marienburgers will build a wall and they will pay for it and stuff like that. Yeah, but and now I will direct to the map. The map in question is. Take a look. You are swimming in through this place here,
Mhm.
because like, believe it or not, this. I mean, you've been sailing along the Reich the entire time, and really, the entrance to Marienburg shows just how wide the Reich can be in some places. It's remember in the world of Warhammer, everything when it comes to the planet, the world itself is much bigger than our own. Also, as you can see on the map, Marienburg itself is mostly composed of various islands connected by myriad bridges, much more than there are, for example, in Naudorf. Since the space is at a at a premium here, so the usual human like building what's the word building tradition of going up
Architecture.
architecture is even more visible here. Obviously Marienburg can't really like go beyond its walls because it's surrounded by various surrounded by marshes and and water, so the buildings really go up. And Gustav, without even rolling, that sometimes through the centuries, through the decades, some of the buildings sagged under the level of of sand and water, effectively becoming submerged, and more buildings were built atop of them. Not only that, but because of various styles and the fact that Marienburg is probably one of the if not most cosmopolitan city in the old world, there are incredible amount of architectural styles present here. Elegant southern style of building from Thalia and Estalia mixes with domed roofs from Kislev. Of course, there's the classical imperial brick and wood mixed together. Some of the buildings look slightly dwarfish, perhaps almost completely made from stone. Others are very elegant, looking almost unhuman. You would know, Gustav, that in the case of these buildings, they were probably influenced by elven architecture, even if ironically it's almost certain that no elf lives here, because elves, high elves, have their own enclave in Marienburg that is completely governed by them, and they are a law unto themselves there. They even have they were even given the rights to prosecute their the criminals that wrong them themselves. They don't have to send them to human law enforcement and courts. And naturally, there are ships, boats, barges, canoes, kayaks, yachts, and all other rafts, and all other sorts of maritime vessels here, river and maritime vessels, to the point that few times you were effectively stuck waiting for larger ships to move and allow you to sail to your destination. You were even, you even witnessed on this cold, windy day in the wasteland, practically scuffles between sailors. Two sailors, for example, jumped from, or rather, rivermen from their boat to the other boat that almost crashed into them, and they began to they engaged in a heated conversation with the owner, so to speak, with fists started flying and all that. Marla is simply awestruck. You can see that she she just looks around and she can't believe her eyes. Probably Lambert and Johannes, I guess that for you it's also rather unusual to see all this stuff. Gustav, you're probably used to it, so I can imagine that you work as sort of a guide for the others as you make your way to this place here, near number 16. It's near
Okay.
the orphanage of St. Ruta. Eventually, when you've dug there, and the soldiers and the rivermen escort secured Gerlinda to the shore, Dejan Strauch approaches you, looks as you are gathered on the deck, looks you up and down, and says, "All right, we delivered you safely to your destination. Now, please leave the barge. We need to unload the cargo. And may Sigmar bless you," he says.
May Sigmar bless you as well, my son.
He looks older than you, and he raises his eyebrow. "Thank you. Now please get off the barge."
Yes. I jump off the barge and say,
You jump off the barge onto the onto the moist stone of and you would know, Gustav, this is the Sweet Dog district.
Oh, nice.
Gustav, by the way, are you here or are you not here? Bran?
Is the dead canal right across to the north from here?
No, the canal is to the west. You know that.
Oh, okay.
You are in the. Sorry, what?
I think Sudak is where Fell Cargo takes place, I think.
The story?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't read that one yet. Anyway, Suidok is also considered heart and soul of Marienburg, and by some, you would know that, Gustav, it's also considered a rundown pest hole by most. It used to be a rather prosperous neighborhood or district, full of warehouses, docks, offices, shops, taverns, flop houses, and it's still filled with, the streets are still filled with crowds of people, always in motion, but it's also clear that the place is essentially becoming, a shadow of its former self. Many of the shops and places are having closed. Its windows and doors barred with wooden planks, and it's not really. I mean, it's the old world, but still the streets are very, very dirty and just filled with trash, with rubbish. It's clear that Suidok's better days remain in the past. Probably, Gustav, you would guess that given a few more years, maybe decades, it will share the fate of the Dud Canal, one of the worst, if not the worst, neighborhood in Marienburg.
That's home sweet home.
Yeah. So you got down from the barge, and you immediately, I would guess, began to search for exactly for what? Tell me, please.
Well, how long do we have to get to the big boat?
Well, you're not sure if the big boat hasn't already left. Remember what Corbinian told you, that the sooner you get there, the better.
I guess we should probably get there.
Yeah.
Start asking people where the docks are for ships traveling.
Everywhere.
Well, no. Where they're specifically where the ones are that are traveling to Lustria or to explore the seas.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'll say, hey, Dietrich, is it true that the Brotherhood of Seamen was founded here? Sorry.
Oh,
There's a lot of swallows in this
is that a
city,
thing?
isn't there?
Yeah, it's actually a thing. It's listed on the thing. It's number 15.
Oh, okay.
The Brotherhood of Seamen.
Probably a lot of swallows hang out.
Hometown?
Boy seaman, right?
I think I would know that, right?
Yes.
No, I mean, you have to roll. You don't know everything about this place.
Well,
Okay.
Johannes wouldn't know that either. I just read it on the map and had to get it into the record.
Yeah. Let's see
Sorry. I'm 12. I can't help it.
No worries. 35. What was the Brotherhood of the Seamen? What was the number?
Number 15, Stossel Isle, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Brotherhood of Seamen.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard, Gustav, that it's a Brotherhood of Seamen. So yeah, the people who. Oh yeah, it is. You know that their enemies are the Rivermen's Association, and the full name is in fact Brotherhood of Seamen and Pilots. It's they are one of the oldest and most respected guilds in the city, and the guild hall is a well-kept building with a pillared facade and a painted mermaid figurehead jutting from the cornice. On its small dome is a brass spire topped with a representation of Manann's crown. You also heard, Gustav, that the guild exists solely to protect the interests of seamen, and harbor pilots, and it represents them in dealings with the Lord Harbor Master's office. Other than that, you're no seaman, so you don't know much else.
There has to be a tavern in this town called the Salties.
That's the Lord Harbor Master's office.
I give up.
Yeah. Sorry, not everyone.
Jokes. No, fuck jokes. I'm done. I give up. I'm gonna be dead serious the rest of this game.
Not everyone at the same time. Michael, what was that? Sorry.
I was saying there has to be a tavern in this town called the Salty Swallow.
Salty Swallow. Oh, okay. In that case, Bran, what you were saying?
That's the Lord Harbor Master's office there, though, so they absolutely would know where the ship bound for Lustria is docked or when it's supposed to take off.
But at this time, you know, it will be probably closed. You have no other option but to just ask around.
I think we need to gossip like hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to mention that you probably have to, in advance, you know, announce your visit to the office. So, good luck with that. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll throw gossip. I'm pretty good here.
Mm-hmm.
If the barge is still like within shouting distance, you could just shout to the soldiers we just talked to. Like,
I don't think they know because they just got here too. I think we need to ask people that actually are here.
Soldiers wouldn't know.
okay.
Like those soldiers from Nann are here to deliver the gunpowder. They don't know anything about an expedition to Lustria.
Okay.
Yeah.
So say, hey sir, do you know about an expedition to Lustria?
Yeah.
I'll roll. Fuck it.
Hey guys, which way is the ocean?
To the left.
Wait a second. Yeah, I just need to quickly check one thing. So give me a second. Right, how the rolls went. Lambert, 55, you've passed. Johannes, 62, you've passed. Gustav, you
I need to roll as well.
Yeah, you haven't rolled yet, so...
Me.
Oh, wow.
I'll use my. I'll use. I got 1 luck left after this. Okay, I've used 2 luck so far. But I passed.
Yeah. By the way, I can't hear you well, Brian. It's like you have your microphone somewhere away from you.
Can
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've passed, I believe. Yes, 28. You've heard that there is indeed an expedition leaving for Lustria very soon, and that they that they are apparently recruiting people, or rather giving them, opportunity to join the glorious expedition to the New World, in a place called, and this probably gives you a bad taste, the Golden Trident, not Triangle, Trident.
Fuck.
in the Suidok district, in the southern part of the Suidok district, near the city walls to the south. You are given enough directions to know how to reach this place, and I presume that you make your way there rather fast. Yes.
Briskly.
With alacrity.
Yeah.
At a clip.
Okay. Okay. In that case, you go through the very narrow streets of Marienburg, or rather, Suidok district of Marienburg, passing various shops, taverns, establishments. You also notice that Marienburg city guard they look quite different than city guard of the Empire. They have those large floppy black hats. And Gustav, you also know that they are in fact called the Black Hats. They take their duties very seriously. Anyway, you eventually reach the street on which the tavern, the Golden Trident, supposedly is located, it's a pretty normal establishment. Honestly, it doesn't look like anything special. It's close to the of course, it's close to the canal, one of the canals. Anyway, the symbol is a very it's not really a Golden Trident. It's a very shitty, like, the drawing of of 3 arrows going up, and they are painted in they're painted in yellow. However, the paint is all flaky. It's practically gone. That said, the music coming from inside and the enticing smells of food and drink are very welcome. You haven't eaten in quite a few hours, so you are probably rather hungry. And you enter the place. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, there's the small bell that just rang as you enter it. Inside you can see that it's full of people, mostly sailors and seamen, as well as a few dock workers. You also spotted a couple of probably students, given their attire and the amount of scrolls and books that they have right next to them. It doesn't really remind you of the Wand. It's much more cramped and dingy, and like everything in Marienburg, smells of damp wood, seaweed, salt, and fortunately not rotting fish, even though this smell is prevalent, but fish all the same. So yeah, that's that. And you take a look around, and you try to find someone who probably be able to help you. And now I'm going to read this very short prologue, and then we can get to business. A fine mist of rain songs the streets of Marienburg. Paddles pull between the cracked cobbles of the Suidok, the wheels of Gilders' carriages, splashing through them as they clatter by. Fishmongers in slick oilskins hog their goods despite the weather, while the warm light of fires beckon from behind the windows of the dockside taverns. In the harbor, the great ocean-going ships bob at anchor, a forest of masts reaching up into the grey haze. The smell of salt water and the cries of gulls drift on the breeze. Such ships need crews, and it's on days like this that the press gangs are on the prowl. Some use the glitter of coin, others the thump of a kosh. In a warm corner, out of the rain, one such crew are explaining to the party the benefits of an ocean voyage. The party, of course, is you. You've met a man inside this place, or rather he spotted you the moment that you arrived, because you look quite different to most of the patrons in the Golden Trident. The man is rather well built. Obviously, he he probably partakes in maritime some kind of maritime trade. I will now show you the handout. Willem Bill Shaft. You should be able to see him, I think. No, not yet. Okay, now maybe. Yeah, now should be fine. Above Ralph Babel.
Yep.
He gestures for you to approach his table. There are like few empty mugs of ale. There's like a small quill and inkpot and quill, and a wooden ledger with a piece of parchment. With few pieces of parchment on it. Do you approach?
Yes.
As you approach, he doesn't get up, but he smiles at you broadly, and you can see that, he's probably 30-something, well built, has a cutlass hanging from his left hip, but other than that, doesn't really look all that armed. He says, "Welcome. I am Willem Shaft. I've noticed you the moment that you've entered this place, and I can already tell that you are looking for a great opportunity," he says.
We're looking for a specific opportunity, mein Herr.
"Oh, really?" he says. "And what might that be? Perhaps you want to join a trip to faraway lands to earn."
That would be the case.
"To earn lots of gold." Well, that's very good to hear. I am representing the captain of Maiden of Manann. She's a good ship, a very good ship, and she'll soon, tomorrow morning, in fact, sail from this place towards Lustria. And this ain't no tube-fanning run up the coast, my lads and ladies, he says, looking at Marla. "You've heard of Lustria, eh? In Lustria, it's always summer. There's cities of gold in the forest there, just waiting for the right man to find them. Aye, and they say the natives go about without any clothes. Don't need them, you see, on account of the sun," he says, as he snaps his fingers to the bartender to bring you and him something to drink. "Now, it's a long voyage for certain, but Captain van der Veek, he knows his business. We have a company of raken mercenaries to watch our backs, and an honest to Manann Outdorf Magister sailing with us too, with an honest to Manann treasure map. It's college money paying for the expedition, and you've got my copper-bottomed guarantee. Any man who sails with us will be coming home rich as one of them wizards. All you've got to do is make your mark on this ledger," and with that, he pushes the ledger towards you.
I go up and grab the quill and sign my name. Sigmar be praised.
He blinks a few times as if not really believing that you immediately, almost immediately just signed the ledger. Then he looks at the rest of you, Gustav, Lambert, and Marla.
What's the catch?
"What do you mean, sir?" he says.
There's always a catch. I mean, like, anybody. If you're saying anybody can show up and sign up, what's the catch?
"No, there's no catch, sir. It's a long trip, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
I am recruiting for the Maiden's crew. Axel over there," and he points to his right, to two tables away. There's a table at which sits a very powerful built man in leather and plate, obviously a soldier. A handgun leans against the table, and he has a sword at his hip. He also has a ledger, but no one is sitting at his table. Axel over there recruits for the Black Griffins Company. For those of you martially inclined, perhaps it is a better option. Just so you know, of course, it will also be much more dangerous eventually.
I have a.
If you have questions, then please ask all the questions you want right now. I'll be more than happy to answer all of them.
Our trip up here was on a barge where we were basically told to shut up and sit to the side. Are we taking on some responsibilities on this voyage?
He blinks and he says, well, I am recruiting you for the crew, which means that you'll be part of the crew of the ship, which means that you will work every day on the ship.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there will be responsibilities. There will be mostly responsibilities, and it's a very hard work.
I get it. Yeah, no, that's cool. Marla and I are cooks by trade.
Yes,
I guess we can do that.
Well, you will do, if you sign up, you will do what you will be told to do, sir. He says with a slight smile, although you can see that, that this, like, he's a cheery man, but he's also very serious when it comes to, comes to the job, so to speak. Of course, if your skills lie in the kitchen, then you will be able to take this into account. That said, if the ship's cook will say no, then you will scrub the deck as everyone else and make sure that the sails work just fine and do all the other things that...
No, that's fine, I got it.
Us, or rather you green hands, as you'll be called, will do.
Okay. I signed the ledger.
Do you want to, I don't know, ask about the trip, ask about the payment? You haven't asked about the payment yet. You're the first not to ask about the payment. First thing.
I mean, like, I stopped halfway through writing lamb. Alright. So how much are we getting paid?
Green hands, and you are green hands, assuming some of you already served on the ship, and he looks at each of you.
We're all blank faced. Maybe Gustav.
What's a ship?
He looks at you, Gustav.
It's like a boat, right?
Bran?
I roll my eyes.
Right, so you have it. So you'll be so-called green hands, the newest crew members, so to speak. You will receive a pay of 2 gold crowns and 10 shillings a month, with 6 shillings advance pay for each of you who sign up. Obviously,
it's pretty good.
If you say so. Obviously, you will also be given food and drink for the duration of the voyage, as well as places to sleep. But 2 gold crowns and 10 shillings is not why you have signed up, right? You have signed up because you want the treasure found in the New World. And so a treasure you shall receive. Now, this will work based on the share principle, share idea, so if I can say so. 2/5 goes to the ship owners, 1/5 to the expedition leaders, 1/5 shared equally among the sailors. There are approximately 180 of them, and / you. And finally, 1/5 share equally among the Black Griffins. There are roughly 90 mercenaries present. You don't have to worry about getting, equal share. Everyone gets equal share, according to their, of course, to their assignment. So, and you can, as I've mentioned, you can be sure that we will return with lots of gold from Lustria. Probably, once we arrive back in Marienburg, you'll be able to buy yourselves maybe your own shipping company or a small pass. Who knows? It's up to you. I already have plans for my share. And yes.
What are your plans?
I want my own ship. I want to be a captain of my own ship to sail the seas, especially now after the war. There are lots of opportunities with the southern kingdoms, Estalia, Tylea, maybe even Border Princess and Araby. Shipping lanes, my friend. Shipping lanes. Someone either needs to secure them or use them for cargo transport.
Johannes, I don't mean to be a dick, but you see how this guy thought about like all the math and stuff that you have to do to be a merchant? That's why his works.
Bill just smiles and he says, well, I mean, I was thinking about something like that for quite a few years now, so of course first we have to go there and return from this trip.
All right, yeah, I'm sold. I say we go strike it rich, even if I'm just going to be cooking ship stew for the next month.
Yes, well, before we set sail, as I mentioned, next morning, look, we don't want anyone who joins us to feel like they've been cheated. So I urge you to ask me all the necessary questions that you perhaps have about this trip, so that you won't be surprised when certain things occur.
We were told it's called the Green Hell. Why?
Oh, you mean... no, Lustria is not any more dangerous than the Empire, please. It has some interesting wildlife, and there might be a few savages and beastmen there, but given the level of protection the expedition has invested in, we have nothing to be afraid of. Remember, 90 well-paid Reikland mercenaries led by a seasoned colonel is nothing to scoff at, I mean. And Green Hell, interesting. I've only heard that they call Lustria either the New World or the Land of Gold, I believe. I don't know, something like that. Oh, New World usually works.
Yeah, it's not the old world, but the new world.
Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed.
I just want an opportunity to spread the word of Sigmar.
Well, that's all fine and well, sir, but from what I understood, we are going to the Tarantula coast. It's near the mouth of the, and he tries to remember, the Curveza River. It's well south of the southernmost imperial settlement. We are not going to any of the local towns, settlements. Straight to the jungle we go.
Oh, that's fine. I'm bringing the word of Sigmar to people who've never heard it before, so that they can feel his light.
Are you gonna preach to a spider?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
There's got to be.
No, You're on fire for this shit. I'm 100% behind it. I better watch you preach to a spider.
And we are expanding the empire, which is what any good Sigmarite will do. We're bringing culture and piety to lands that do not have it.
Bill just smiles politely as he listens to Johannes and just nods his head. Well, I mean, you, just so we are clear, there are no priests of Sigmar on board, sir. We have a Mannonite priestess from the Order of the Albatross. I'm sure that you get along just fine. Yes, sir. And he looks at you, Gustav. You want to ask me something?
This gold that we're going in the jungle to find, is it to be mined, or?
Well, it is to be found in one of the fabled cities located within the jungles of Lustria.
Do people still live in these cities?
I have no idea, he says. That's what we are going to discover. I mean, you'll probably be able to ask Magister von Stiftanzer. He is the representative of the Colleges of Magic. His college funded the expedition. Maybe you'll be able to ask him more questions, given the nature of the expedition and the treasure that we are going to find. I mean, from he came into possession of a map which he believes marks the location of an artifact of great interest to the the College of Light, that I think his establishment is called. I don't know what this artifact is. That's wizard business. But of course, we are completely convinced that wherever the wizard's treasure is to be found, there's probably also a great deal of Lustrian gold.
Perfect sense.
Marla raises her hand. Who's in command of the expedition? Bill looks at her. You see that he frowns for a second. He practically only now saw that she signed the ledger. Captain Marius van der Veek has command in nautical matters, while Colonel Zieglin de Neuwald of the Black Griffins is in charge of military matters. Magister von Stiftanzer is the college's representative aboard and answers to neither. And how long will this voyage take? Asks Marla. Like any long ocean voyage, it is subject to the wind, but I believe that if all goes to the plan, it will be about a 3-month round trip. So we'll be right back for the spring next year.
Get to summer in Lustria.
No,
Winter in Lustria. Sorry, winter in Lustria.
Winter in Lustria, sir, from what we heard, is like they don't have winter. It's always summer there, as I mentioned before. It's always warm.
No, that's a thing that people say when they travel south. Like, hey, it's too cold here. We're gonna go south where it's a little bit warmer during the cold part. What rich people say.
I see.
The term is snowbirds.
Right. Right.
That's what they call them here in Arizona.
Okay.
The people from Canada who come down every winter.
All right. I'm thinking. So, if it's not much of a threat in Lustria, why do we need such a heavily armed group?
Just in case, sir, of course. I mean, we will be traveling through the open seas. Will be the first few weeks. We will stick close to the coasts of the old world. There will be 2 stops. First one in Languille, in Bretonia. The other one in Los Cabos, the westernmost settlement in the old world, located in Estalia. But after that, it will be Great Ocean. And, well, Great Ocean, sir, is not especially safe to travel.
It's Great Ocean straight from Los Cabos to Lustria?
Yes, indeed.
Damn, I was hoping we would stop off and see some elves. Oh well.
You would why would Lambert say that? You have no knowledge about Ultuan.
Oh, not Otuan. Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh fuck.
I'm going to be
damn.
very anal about this.
That's my bad. That's
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah. So let's say that you haven't said that.
Yeah. Rip that. Rewind.
Yeah. Yes. After that, from Los Cabos, we go straight to Lustria. But as I've said, Great Ocean can be a dangerous place. There are, of course, there are, especially now after the storm, many pirates, privateers, savaging the coasts of the old world. Generally, it's better to have some kind of protection aboard the ship, especially since, well, this is a solo ship travel. It's only Maiden of Manann and nothing else. But she's a good ship, a strong carrack, well built. We have cannons, and as I said, Captain van der Wiek is a very seasoned officer.
Sounds great.
So,
Sign me up.
very well. In that case, I presume that all of you signed up, including you, Gustav, right?
After Lambert.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I finished writing my name.
Yeah.
and I pretend to be illiterate, and I'm just gonna make my mark.
Mm-hmm. Marla signs up as well. As I mentioned, you saw that Bill gave her a funny look. Nothing lewd or anything, but perhaps he's just surprised that a woman signs up for the trip. Now, Gustav, you can roll me Common Knowledge Wasteland if you want, with minus 20%.
One second. Yeah, it passes.
Mm-hmm.
63 intelligence.
Mm-hmm. 63 intelligence. Okay, so you know that the sailors are a superstitious bunch, and apparently some of them, actually quite a few of them, believe that a woman on board a ship brings bad luck. But Bill here is probably curt enough to not say anything, even though it's clear that he's probably one of the sailors who believe such thing, right? Yeah. So once you all signed up, he looks at the ledger. It's of course obvious that he can read, and says, "All right, very well. I expect you tomorrow morning before dawn. In fact, at the dock number," and he gives the number of the dock. It's here in Sui Dock. It's not far away from the Golden Trident. In fact, don't be late. You have. I also suggest that you spend this last night before sailing, enjoying yourselves, because it will be a few days before we reach Languille, and we'll probably only stay a single day there, and then it will be a couple other days before we reach Los Cabos, and we will also stay there for a very short time. After that, it will be only the vastness of the ocean until we reach the Land of Gold. So, enjoy yourselves while you can. Oh, and one more thing, as you probably get up from the table to, I guess, leave after finishing your drinks that he bought you. Given that you're all new to this, as I mentioned, the green hands, I just want to emphasize one thing, and you can see that he's pretty serious. On board the ship, there is no room for disagreeing with superior officers, and no room for slackers. Just so you know, what you will do, what you are told to do, without hesitation and without questioning the orders of your superiors. Punishments for disobeying your superior or insulting him are very strict, and you can see that he's not smiling anymore. He's 100% serious. I am telling you this only because you are new to this. There's this, second of pause.
Yes.
And then
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say yes. As in the Empire, I understand the captain is the emperor of the ship, and we are his loyal subjects.
He winces when you say that, but it's obvious that he's a Marienburger, probably, or Wastelander.
Yeah. Of course, of course.
Yes.
I told Brian before we started, is like, you thought Johannes was annoying before.
Yes, or perhaps perhaps more like one of the burgomeisters of Marienburg, says Bill, smiling slightly. But I
got you. Do what Boat Daddy says.
I'm glad that you understand the situation, sir. All of you. He corrects himself. Now, as I mentioned, go out there, drink, maybe have a little fun. He looks at everyone except Marla. I've heard that they organize knife throwing contests not far from here. I don't remember the name of the tavern though. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, bright early, before dawn, right outside the Maiden of Manann. And with that,
sounds great.
He gets up and goes to the bar to fetch himself another drink, and you are left alone in the Golden Trident Tavern. What are you doing right now?
Well, it looks like we should maybe find a place to stay for the night and something to eat.
Good idea.
I intend to pray for the rest of the evening afterwards.
Oh, Lord.
You don't want to have some fun, Johannes? Asks Marla. Maybe drink something? I don't know.
I know, I need to nourish my soul.
Oh my god.
I see. Alright, All right, Gustav, Lambert, you want to nourish your well, something else?
Nourish your
What?
cock.
Oh, no, I'm good, bud. Marla, you want to come with me? We're gonna go get some drinks and throw knives at shit.
Yeah, of course. But first, let's.
Hell yeah.
We shall learn where this this knife contest is taking place, right?
Yeah. I was just gonna walk outside and throw knives. No. We should probably figure out where to get.
Gustav, you coming with us? Asks Marla.
Yeah. Should we find where we're staying for the night first, and then?
Probably. So
I imagined we were gonna stay here.
you see that this is mostly a drinking tavern. You don't think that there are any rooms here.
Damn.
All right, well, let's
Oh,
go
See
look.
if we can find something near the where the ship is
Mhm.
moored.
I ask if there's I gossip to see if there's a reasonably priced inn nearby,
Okay, roll.
and I fail, of course.
Right. You tried to ask, but you were given answers. Why would you need any other tavern other than Golden Trident, right? Order yourself a drink. Sit down, relax. Yeah.
Can I ask the recruiter if there's an inn near where the ship is departing from?
I will roll for him. Actually, yeah, I think
I think it's probably Gotham.
I think I even passed. I have their stats here. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. He says, "Oh, yes, of course. There is a place where you can stay relatively close to the harbor, at which the Maiden is docked. It's called the Rusty Barnacle.
The Rusty Barnacle.
Yes.
Mm.
I've heard that food and drink there are rather atrocious, but they have quite a few rooms to rent, and for good prices too.
Okay, I think we're gonna get it set up there for the night.
He just, nods and smiles at you. So yeah, I presume that you try and find your way there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get out onto the actually rain-soaked streets of Marienburg because it's currently raining, not too heavily, but enough for you to probably cover your heads with your cowls. And you go, in search of the Rusty Barnacle Tavern, making your way down the narrow streets of Sweet Dock, smelling salt in the air and hearing the cries of seagulls. Eventually you and it's like somewhere here. Actually, sorry, not somewhere here. It's somewhere here. Not far from where you were, where you initially docked in Marienburg from Altdorf.
Okay.
First thing is that when you when you emerge from between the buildings, you can see, in fact, a large, impressive ship docked at the at the shore. And I've just also gave you the Maiden of Manann handout. You can check it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, you've
Nifty.
you've arrived at the dock where the Maiden is docked, Michael. Just so you know.
Ah.
And there's the handout. You can check her out yourself. Now, the ship looks very solid. It is, as I mentioned before, when Bill told you about her. It's a three-masted carrack, the sails, they are like two of them. Are what's the word? Like when they're not open, they are drawn, right? Is that it?
Mhm.
But the third one is still hanging from the main mast, and you can see that it bears the device of the twin-tailed comet. There's also a figurehead of the eponymous maiden releasing an albatross from her cupped hands. Do any of you have the sail or trade shipwright skill?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
I have sail.
You have sail, so in that case, you don't have to roll. You recognize that the ship looks new and soundly built. It will also be your home for the next 3 months. Now, right before you go into the rusty barnacle, let's maybe take literally 2 minutes break, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Were you able to get your crawdads?
Yeah, buddy. They have a little farmers market out. We got like 3 places within walking distance of us that do food.
Nice.
It's like a okay pizza joint. They're all outside of this big nature preserve that our house backs up on, but an okay pizza joint, a really good taco place, and this little Cajun shop that they do some food in there, but most of what they do is they sell. They've got local produce and stuff. So I got 2 pounds of crawdads. I got about half a pound of okra, and picked up about 6 links of Bowden, so I can make some Bowden gumbo. And yeah, the summer I feel like cooking Cajun shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hot. It's hot. I'm gonna sweat a lot anyways. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's in the winter. It's in the winter that I go back to like, all right, we're roasting everything.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
So, we gotta make some Bowden gumbo and some etouffee.
Mm-hmm. I like all those things.
And picked up a quarter of muffaletta for lunch.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah. They were pretty good, man. When they're pretty new. So we've got this is over in Moss Rock in Alabama.
Okay.
There's a big festival they do every year around like October, and I'm waiting for that just to see how well they handle that because they're gonna get pretty slammed with business when the beer garden opens up for the festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. Duncan likes going out in that nature preserve. We go.
I bet.
I have to carry him around. Some of that stuff's pretty dodgy to walk over. It's a lot of boulders and stuff.
Yeah.
But down at the bottom of the ravine, there's a creek that runs through that snapping turtles like hanging out in. So we go down there and look at the turtles.
That's cool. Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Boy, howdy, he's getting that toddler tude.
Yeah.
Not mean-spirited yet.
Yeah.
But it's there. His new favorite word is no.
Yeah, well, that's all kids. Like they hear it all the time, so they're like, "Hey, this is a word I can use now."
Oh, I told you like the game of like animal sounds that we do.
Yeah.
Where like he I'll say like, Duncan, what sound does a cat make? He just goes, meow. What sound does a dog make? Woo-hoo. What sound does a dinosaur make? Roar.
Okay. Cool.
And one time, Chi was from the other room. She just goes, "What sound does Daddy make?" And he just goes, "No, no, 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 no."
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty accurate.
Pretty right.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get a quote on getting my fence repaired since I just don't have time to do it.
Yeah. Honestly, I am a big, although I don't do it enough, but I'm a big proponent of just paying somebody to do it and then it'll be done.
Yeah, that's kind of where I sit.
Yeah, rather than I have to think about how I want to do this, and I have to make trips to the hardware store, and then I inevitably will forget something, and I'll have to make more trips to the hardware store, and then I'll actually have to do the thing.
I had this whole deal worked out with our handyman to do a deck and a patio, right?
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And we had I forget what the price was, but we had a price nailed down. And I was gonna excavate myself, right? Because he's like, yeah, it's just labor. Anybody could do that. You just gotta hack through these roots and blah blah blah, right? So I did that over the course of like 2 months by myself, digging this huge hole in my backyard. And then I went to call the guy, and I couldn't get a hold of him, right?
Of course not.
And I looked it up, like just out of curiosity. He died during COVID, man. So I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh my god!
And like, nobody else is gonna agree to that price. Like,
God damn.
to not have a big hole in my backyard. And no
Son of
new
a
deck.
bitch. Yeah, that fucking sucks ass. God damn it. I'm sorry the guy died, but fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. It's like you know, I paid for a plan for you know, electrical and plumbing around here because you know it's 20-year-old whatever house it's starting to show it. So I was just like, you know, it's like, can I do electrical? Yes. Am I good at it? No. Can I do plumbing? Yes. Am I good at it? No. So it's just like save myself the crawling under a sink and getting a neck cramp for 2 hours for something that an actual, you know, plumber can do in like 15 minutes. Bang, zoom, done.
Yeah, I've been fucking around with this toilet downstairs trying to figure out where the fuck and why the leak happens. It's not big. It's like a little droplet leak, but man, that shit accumulates.
Yeah.
And I've replaced everything on that except for replacing the actual fucking commode, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've got a tube of advanced waterproof kitchen and bath silicone that I'm going to throw on there around the open spots where the nuts attach the tank to the commode, and see if that does it. And if it doesn't, I'm just calling a fucking plumber. I'm done. I've spent like 4 months on this shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the other thing is I mean, for me, it was like, why do I have this leak in here? Blah, blah, and then it turns out it was the sewer line in the wall was leaking, and you know, it just got to the point where I guess it didn't crud up, or it had broken through the crud, the buildup, the water buildup, to the point where it just wouldn't hold anymore. Because I had that for years. I was like, why is there water in here? Somebody being a fucking dumbass and and splashing water all over the floor.
Yeah, I'm knocking on wood right now. I don't need any of that shit in my life right now.
No,
Like,
well, I mean,
our plumbing's been pretty good, so I'm knocking on wood here.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's just it. It's one of those things where, you know, looking back on it, it was probably happening for a long time. It's just, you know, it wasn't until it was like, hey, every time I shower, there's water all over the floor downstairs. Weird. You know. So.
Hey, buddy.
Oh man, so I met up with my buddy for beers last night for the first time in a long time, and we went to this restaurant that I'd been to before. I don't know if you guys have the chain Oso where you live. I forget what it stands for. It's an acronym, OHSO, but they do their own brewing and distillation. So they have like all these vodkas, flavored vodkas and stuff. I mostly just go there to drink beer. But this location, we usually go, like my family, we usually go to this other location, which has a really big patio area, and it's you know, they encourage you to bring your dog. It's like, I would probably say like the outdoor seating is almost as much, if not slightly more, than the indoor seating in that location. But this place that we went to was closer to my house, and before it was just kind of like a hole in the wall. It had like, you know, really not any good seating to speak of, and go there last night, and it's like, holy shit, they've completely remodeled this place. It's like
I feel that, man. Like, I go out to downtown Birmingham like 3 or 4 times a year tops. And it's not far. It's like 30 minutes to go downtown. I just fucking hate doing it. But every time I go, there's new shit down there, and I have no idea how quick everything moves around.
Right.
It just seems like back when I used to live down there, you know, stuff stayed around a lot. But like, man, there's like new restaurants every damn week in my head. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, so this place now has like a very built out outdoor seating, not as big as the other location, but much much bigger and family / dog friendly than before.
Nice.
Seems like they've expanded the indoor seating. I'm not really sure, and it feels like they completely moved the bar. But what they added that I don't remember from before was they now have a full arcade. So they have like skee ball, the basketball thing, air hockey, pinball, all this shit back there. I was like, holy shit! This is the kind of stuff that my family is super into. So I was telling my wife this morning, because when I got home she was already asleep. Okay, probably want to go check this out. Yeah, they went and played mini golf at one of the casinos while I hung out with my friend. It feels like more than 2 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. So is Johannes suitably annoying religious guy? Or does he need to work on it more?
So far, especially in Marienburg.
Yeah.
Wrong town for that shit.
No, it's the right town. You guys need Jesus. Or you guys need Sigmar. That's what your problem is. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I'm just like, hey, Sigmar's great. You should try it.
Sorry, what?
Gustav is not like anti-Sigmar. He likes Sigmar.
No,
it's just not his main thing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He's more of a friend of Dorothy.
More flavors of ice cream, man.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. The new tack is it's not necessarily, although Sigmar is the best, but that's not the point. The point is just like, hey, you need to hear about Sigmar.
Are you gonna get some chick tracks and shit?
If you want to
save
your immortal soul.
Hey kids, you want to talk about sailing ships? Let me tell you about a guy who sailed so great he didn't need a boat at all.
Yeah, pretty much. You know who else sailed ships?
I'm here. Who sells ships?
Sigmar.
Instead of sailing the seas, you should sail the seas of your soul and talk about Sigmar. Here, let's rap and turn your bar stool around.
Yeah. He sailed on the corpses of greenskins.
Okay. You look for the. I mean, you found the rusted barnacle. You want? I presume that you want a room there, yes?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So the place is, as you entered, of course, like quite a few, if not most, taverns in Marienburg. There are lots of marine-inspired or related paraphernalia, nets hanging on the walls, steering wheels, symbols of Manann, and also even
atmosphere.
Yeah, fragments of ships. That said, what you've also heard about this place is sadly true. I mean, given the smell of the food and drink here, let's just say it's not that good. So yeah, a night spent here will cost you 2 silver per person, or you can pay 3 pennies for a night in the common room. But you also know that it's perhaps it's not the safest thing. By the way, who has the chest with money?
We have been carrying it, me and Marla, together.
Okay, sure. All right.
All right.
Fine. So
I pay 2 silver for a room.
2
Oh,
silver.
we just take this out of the group fund, but okay, whatever.
I'm trying to lower my encumbrance.
Okay, you pay.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
You pay 2 silver for room. Marla also pays 2 silver for her. Lambert, Johannes, what about you?
Yep.
Okay.
I am Johannes.
Sorry, Lambert, Gustav, what about you?
I'm Johannes.
Is he paying out of the chest?
I know.
No, we're paying out of our pocket.
Okay, 2 silver then.
I'm not opening that fucking chest in here. Jesus.
Okay. You were given keys. You also told the innkeeper that you will probably leave, early next morning. And after that, where do you go? You want to find this place where they throw knives, yes?
Well, from what I understand, Johannes wants to spend his time praying and absolving himself of
He needs to come out drinking. If the dwarves gave Sigmar their hammer, he obviously had a drink with them at some point. They wouldn't just give Sigmar a hammer. That's really important.
Beer is sacred.
I don't have theology, do I? It's like I gotta roll something.
I mean, if you so you want to
Or
stay.
roll willpower.
You want to stay in your room, Johannes, and just pray. Yes, is that it?
Yes.
We're
Okay.
peer
Yes, that's-
pressuring them, so
I'm gonna roll willpower and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is peer pressure.
No, fuck you guys.
But
I'm staying in my
Well-
room and praying,
Okay.
writing down my sermon for tomorrow.
Okay. Mala just says quietly, "Leave him be. Come on, let's have some fun for this last night."
all right, well, we're gonna leave this with you. Keep it safe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm so good with money, right? Cool.
We trust the one you pray to,
Okay.
and through that we trust you.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna be sitting on it, so that's cool.
Okay,
fine.
good. I just wanted to do that. No trips to any Sigmar temples today with that money.
No. Although I would suggest putting this in a bank if I were you, but it's not my money, so.
Whatever. There's no banks open this late.
No, they're not. And you won't be able to probably visit one tomorrow, before
So
sailing.
we're just gonna drag this chest of money to Lustria, huh?
Where the fuck else are we gonna put it?
Yeah, at this point, it's coming with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Now
Have fun, guys.
he's gonna go pray. I'm gonna go throw knives at shit.
Okay.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
So, in the common room of the Rusty Barnacle, you've learned that the knife throwing tournament is organized at Honest Enric's. It's not far from here, actually, and that apparently you can earn quite a bit of a coin there. So I guess all 3 of you, except of course Johannes, you go to this place. It's an inn, maybe not exactly seedy, but definitely frequented by the less savory clientele. And inside, the tournament already, has already started. The general gist is that you can stake up to 6 silver on a round of knife throwing. If you win 1d10/2 times your money, and get your stake back. If you lose, your stake is lost.
All for that.
You can play up to 3 rounds.
Is Johannes, not Johannes, is Gustav going to take part?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. All right, let's do it.
So, Honest Enric, the owner of Honest Enric's, he announces you, Gustav. Actually, what's your name, Gustav? Because I know that's not Gustav. Probably it's something else. Right?
Dietrich
Fuller. Dietrich Fuller, the Knife Fingers of Wasteland, will now participate in our knife throwing competition. He says, "Step right up. How much money do you stake, Gustav?"
How much was the
6 is the
minimum again?
max.
6 silver or 6 gold?
6 silver is the max.
6.
Okay, I'll put 6 down.
Now I have a question. Do you have specialist weapon group throwing?
No, I don't think so.
So you roll on half.
We'll check, but I'm fairly certain I don't.
So you have to roll on half your ballistic skill in that case.
He's just my hype guy.
You've been given a single knife. There is, of course, there is a bullseye in the middle of the common room. All the tables and chairs have been moved under the walls to make room for knife throwing aficionados. And so you are given a knife by Honest Enric, and you prepare to throw it. You roll ballistic skill halved.
I'm gonna try and humble myself in front of the crowd. Now I'm no good at this. This is the first time I've done this. Okay.
You want to reload that?
Sure. Yeah. That's my last luck.
Hey! Probably still fails.
Do I get any modifiers?
No. It's basic.
I botched it.
You've botched. Thank you. That's what I was. That's what I was waiting for.
Last luck.
And now he has an enemy for life because he just hit somebody in the ass with a knife.
Roll me.
You should stick to being a sawbones, bud.
Roll me D100, please.
D100. Okay.
16. So it's okay. Actually, that's the worst possible. You hurl your weapon with savage force, and something goes snap in your shoulder. You lose 1 wound, and you
I lose 1 what?
You lose a single wound, and you fall to the ground, whimpering with pain, holding your shoulder. I don't have to tell you, of course, that everyone in the inn is just hysterical.
He'll be okay. He's a doctor.
Everyone probably except for Marla and Lambert. Marla just she jumps right next to you. Gustav, are you all right? And
I'm gonna stand up and bow if I can.
You can, because the pain is so horrible. Okay. You can do nothing until medical attention is received. That's the problem. You did something very bad with your right arm. And so Honest Enric is, well, folks, you see, knife throwing is not for everyone. Thank you for your coin, Herr Dietrich. And he pockets the 6 silver that you gave him. Now, who wants to try next?
I throw my hands up as hard as I can, just like, ah!
You want small sir? Very well. Step right up. Just make sure that you do better than your friend over here.
Lambert, the last of the cherry hearts.
The last of the cherry hearts, yes. Here you go, Lambert, the last of the cherry.
Out just before our cruise.
Here you go, Lambert, last of the cherry hearts. May run out, bless you. And you are given, a throwing knife, the same one that Gustav had.
Does this go off ballistics?
This is ballistic skill. If you don't have specialist weapon throwing, it's half of your ballistic skill.
I do have it.
You have specialist throwing. Okay, yes. In that case, you roll ballistic skill. Yes. You stake 6 shillings, I presume. Yes.
I did.
Okay. You threw the knife clean into the middle of the targets, into the middle of the target. So now you win. I will roll for that. You win total of 8 shillings, including your interest. I mean, you earn 2 shillings plus you get your stake back. Honest Enric, is like, you see, Halfling here, he knows better how to throw than us tall people, but can he throw well for the second round? Good sir, do you want to try for the second round?
Yeah, let's do it.
You once again stake 6, yes?
Yeah.
In that case, go ahead and throw. Nice. This time it was even better. You threw the second knife that you were given by Honest Henrik. You practically hit the middle of the bullseye. The crowd goes wild. Everyone forgot that Gustav is essentially laying on the floor, cradled by Marla, and just whimpering. The pain is horrible, Gustav, and you know that unless you get medical attention, you have no idea how you'll be able to work on the ship. Just so we are clear. Now, Honest Henrik is like, well, that's 2 out of 3. Very well. But can our short friend throw so well for the 3rd time? And he gives you the 3rd knife. Because I presume you want to try for the 3rd time, yes?
I do.
Roll me minus...
Go big or go home!
Roll me minus 20 perception test.
Alright, 1 sec.
Okay.
I would like to luck that.
Sure.
There we go.
The knife in your hand feels strange.
Oh.
Ha Some cheating going on.
What are you doing? You can also see that Honest Henrik his face is kind of sour.
I hold the knife out and at the point where you would balance it, and just let it sit. Does it fall?
Yeah, it's very unbalanced. It's let me quickly tell you. Yeah, it's completely unbalanced. It would probably be very hard for you to hit anything with that knife.
Anybody got a knife I can throw that? I feel like using somebody else's.
Of course. I must have given you a wrong knife, says Honest Henrik, who's honestly red on his face right now. Here you go, sir. And he handles you a different knife. This knife feels like proper.
All right, we're gonna make the throw.
Roll. Nice.
Shit. Fuck, both botched. No, I've got a luck left.
Roll.
Oh, thank God.
You practically drop the knife onto your foot. Fortunately, you managed to throw it perfectly, and it hit the jackpot as well. By the way, I don't think I gave you money for the last roll, so I'm going to...
You didn't.
Yeah. So for the last one, you are given a single shilling plus interest, and for this, you are given also a single shilling. So you earn a few shillings, but
Yeah. And I walk over to the bar and say, Hendrik,
Yes?
that's cheeky. It's cheeky, but I respect that hustle. And I use public speaking to say drinks on me.
All right. He, when we said that cheeky and hustle, you see that he grimaced, but then you said drinks are on me, and he immediately, rolls his hands up and says, "How you heard the halfling? Drinks are on him tonight." And everyone is like, "Ooh, yeah." And of course there are still few people who participate in knife throwing. Remember, everyone can only try 3 times, no more. So you can go again, Lambert, and Gustav is...
I'm going to go address Gustav.
Yeah, Gustav is sitting, like Marla helped him sit on a chair under the wall, and you can see that, that his right hand is just, like, it's twitching. With every twitch, Gustav whimpers in pain. It's clear that he did something very bad to his hand.
I announced to the room that's now totally comfortable with me since I've just bought them all drinks. Is there a sawbones in here?
I can help, yeah.
That's not what they call it.
Says one of the patrons. He probably dislocated something. I can help you fix him for a crown, for a single guilder. He says. You guess that guilder is the equivalent of a gold crown here.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. I don't really care.
You give him the guilder?
Yeah, I'll give him a gilder. Fuck it.
All right. He doesn't look like a Sawbones at all. He looks like a sailor. He even has
Hey,
this,
it's all right.
bandana on his hand, heavily tattooed, heavily bearded. And after you gave him the coin, he checks it with his teeth. Not too many left of those. Pockets it in his trousers, then takes like 2 quick strides towards Gustav, grabs his hand, grabs his wrist with one hand, grabs his shoulder with the other. When he grabbed your shoulder, Gustav, you practically yelled in pain, and you hear, "Oh, don't be such a bitch." And with this loud pop, he pulled your arm to him and up. Gustav practically fainted. Just for a second, he slumped completely. But then the sailor produced, attached to his hip is a leather flask. He opened the flask. He put it under Gustav's nose. Gustav almost immediately opened his eyes and began coughing. "Yeah, see? Good as new," he says. Easiest gilder
That's good work, man.
easiest gilder I ever earned. and with that, he smiled.
Thank you. Thank you.
With that,
I'll go get Gustav a pint of rum.
sure. With that, he smiled widely to Marla and returned to his table. So, how much do you want to pay for the rum and drinks for everyone? Because there are quite a few patrons here, Lambert. Just so you know.
How much was my total stake and income from that? 12 shillings, I think.
I mean, you had 18 shillings total from your stake, and then you had you earned total 7 shillings, so 25 shillings total.
All right, so 20 shillings should cover everybody for the night.
For the beer, yes. For the rum, probably not, because
Let's throw down a guilder and 20 shillings.
Yeah, so that covers everything.
That's going to cover
including,
drink. That's going to cover drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It covers the rum. It covers the shillings. Brian, you breaking up slightly?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah.
Gustav, of course, your arm aches like hell still, but you can feel it and you can move it. Mostly, you guess that probably until tomorrow it should be fine. Hopefully, you are also given, a large glass of rum by one of the servants, courtesy of Lambert. And everyone is essentially having, a grand old time. Everyone is having fun. I guess that you don't do anything else for the rest of the night, just drinking and having a good time. Okay.
Drink, have a good time, and take him back so he can rest.
Yeah.
Want to dance with Marla?
Yeah, sure. She dances with you. Eventually, they remove the bullseye and the knife throwing stuff from the middle, and yes, the middle of the room becomes the dance floor for people who want to move to this rowdy songs sung by a bunch of sailors, acting as troubadours, so to speak. They are, of course, incredibly rude and vulgar, but they are also rather cheerful and merry. Meanwhile, Johannes is praying as hard as he can, imagining Sigmar's mighty pecs, well-oiled, his fantastic chiseled beard. Of course, I'm joking. You are in deep meditation, deep prayer, and you are trying to commune with your God for the first time in a long time, given that you spent more than a month on board the river barge. You are alone, and you can just hear your thoughts only. There's no slashing of water. There are no shouts of soldiers or questions from your comrades. You are here alone with your faith, and so you pray and you try to calm yourself, not thinking about what you left in Aldorf. You never received any message from Hannah. You don't know if she even got the message. Hopefully she did. But it's hard to live your old life. Now, also, I'll do this in a second. In the Star Signs Combat Aids and Rules section, you can see at the very bottom there's the Imperial Calendar series. There's Series 3 and Series 4. And so I will need a single person, it will be only a single person, who, for the duration of the scenario, who note the days. See if you can open the handouts. Let me know if they work. Especially the Series 3, sorry.
Yeah, I can open it. I'm just trying to figure out how I can see what I'm looking at.
You can. This is a PDF. This is an uploaded PDF. So you are you should be able to, to enter it, not modify it, of course, but to read it. So you won't have to note every single day, only the dates that I will tell you. But I would like for one person to keep track in the notes. Now, of course, it will be like paid extra with XP. For every session, this person will get 5 XP extra. It's like not much, I know, but it's also not that hard. Tell me which one of you is willing to do this.
I mean, I can do it if nobody wants to jump at that.
Okay.
I'm not going to jump at it.
All right, Sean. So you are now our designated calendar man. You will start from tomorrow. It will be the 3rd day of Kaltzeit. This is the Warhammer equivalent of. Actually, sorry, no. The 3rd day of Broadside. This is the Warhammer equivalent of November.
Okay.
No, sorry, Ulrichzeit. My bad. I'm just so bad at this.
I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate this thing, but I'll figure it.
Yeah.
So we're the
third day of Ulrichzeit is Angestag.
Okay.
So note that the Maiden of Manann set sail on the 3rd of Ulrichzeit on the day of Angestag. Angestag is like Saturday, practically.
Okay.
Because Warhammer weeks, they have 8 days instead of 7. So yeah.
I'm just trying to see what I can do here because it's. I mean, I'll figure it out. I can take a screenshot, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to just open it normally, I think, and you can.
Yeah. Well, my thought was that I like I do with my careers, as I take a screen capture of it, and then I just have a JPEG or a PNG, and I just write on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like I would do with a calendar at home. I just tick the days off.
Okay. So.
I will.
Yeah.
So I've got the day 3. Okay, that's weird.
Okay, so you do that, and meanwhile, the rest of you spend the rest of the evening and probably well into the night on drinking, laughing, enjoying yourselves, dancing. Gustav, you dance with Marla. No one, fortunately, in this place tries to do anything funny, even if few of the sailors, maybe whistle when she passes by. That said, like the rest of you, she's dressed in this long coat because, from what I've gathered, you all have those long leather coats, right? To protect you from cold and damp. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are all pretty well armed, right? Okay, you know what, Gustav? I would like for you, given how much stuff you bought, I would like for you to describe yourself to me right now, because I need to imagine that. Like, I need to know how you look.
Okay.
Right
so
now.
I have kind of a wide mohawk, mustache. If it's been a month, my mustache is probably pretty bushy by now with some razor stubble.
Yeah.
Which I was trying to imitate like a soldier's facial hair with this. And I have full studded leather armor, 2 clubs, a dagger. So I probably look kind of mean. Although I did just hurt myself throwing a knife.
Okay. So that's how you look. Johannes, how do you look?
Oh, well, I haven't done too much to change my appearance. The only thing I've done is I've shaved my hair in the tonsure of a priest.
Mm-hmm.
So I have essentially a bald spot on my head now. And I guess I'm letting my beard grow longer.
Okay. So you have
and not
have hair on the top of your head, but you have this bald spot in the middle. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the shaved spot. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. You have long beard, and what kind of clothes are you wearing?
Oh, well, I'm just wearing the clothes that I have, which are just the sort of slightly warmer clothes that I got from the Stallions. So just like, a thicker tunic
Mm-hmm.
and pants, but all just woven, woolen clothing.
Okay.
Of kind of nondescript beige brown colors. Whatever it was they gave me for free, and then I have my gear and my hammer, which I've scratched into at the light of Sigmar with a nail or whatever I could find.
Okay. And you have the book, yes?
I have the
Deus
Deus
Sigmar.
Sigmar,
Yeah.
a small Deus Sigmar, which I refer to all the time, and I'm trying to while I have time in the room to sort of consult the Deus Sigmar and try to write out like little sermons or little things that I can say to increase morale and a love of Sigmar and Empire.
Okay. But do you have this book normally in your backpack, or do you have it like close to your hip?
I think I would when we're traveling, it would be in my backpack.
Okay.
I'm not like a zealot wearing it across my chest or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have the long cloak, yes, like the rest of the guys and girl.
No, I have the whatever
The
heavy
Stallions.
coat.
Mhm.
That, well, no, but I have a heavy coat that.
The Lambert body.
Daddy Lambert. bought
Okay,
for me.
so you have it. Okay, and Gustav, you have one as well, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, Lambert, how do you look?
I have my best quality black clothing and my heavy pack and heavy coat on, but I've also on the front of that got through the heavy coat you can see I have a brace of pistols across my chest
Mm-hmm.
and a dagger on my belt.
Okay.
Other than that, just Lambert.
Any other weapon? You only have a dagger and pistol?
I have a sling as well.
Okay, so no club, no sword, nothing like that.
No,
Okay.
I have two pistols.
Yeah, I know. You have a brace, sure. And Marlach, she also has the cloak, I believe. Yes. Leather jerkin, I think. Short sword and dagger. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, she has a short sword and dagger.
Yeah. Yeah, wineskin, shoes, normal clothes, pouch. You also bought all yourself. You also bought her what? Metal cutlery, tinderbox, backpack, bedroll, coin purse. You all have bedrolls, right? So not normal
Yes.
blankets, just bedrolls, the better ones. All of you, right?
Yeah, I actually thought there were separate things.
They are.
So I can get
they
rid
are.
of one.
Bedroll.
So I'll get rid of a blanket, I guess.
I mean, you can keep it. Blanket is always useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a
Alright,
bedroll,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured I'd be sleeping in my clothes.
Okay. I mean, if you had blanket before the wand, Gustav, then sure, remove it because you don't have it anymore.
No, I actually took it from there.
Okay.
It was like I made a little biddle out of it initially.
Okay. So you have it, sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you have bedrolls. Yeah, you look like seasoned, prepared adventurers all. Before you go to sleep, of course, given how the night goes and the fact that you are, I know that you don't drink so that you'll be hangover tomorrow or stinking drunk, but you probably down a few ales, maybe a few rums into yourselves, and well, it's just normal thing to relieve yourselves from time to time, right? And the latrine is outside, of course. It is outside the Honest Henrik's tavern. So all of you go there from time to time. Now Gustav and Lambert, roll me D10 and let's see who rolls higher. D10, not D100.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Okay, 3. Lambert?
That was me.
Oh, that was you.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, Gustav. It's probably right after midnight and you are preparing yourself to go to sleep when you feel that you need to empty your bladder. So you go outside, you stumble your way out into the middle of, Marienburg night. And, well, you can see the Maiden from here, of course, it is at anchor. However, as you make your way to the outhouse, which is located in one of the back alleys, first you need to move in front of the tavern. You see that on the other side of the street, from the quay side, a strange figure is loitering under the eaves of the houses. Short and hunchbacked, they are dressed in rags like a vagrant or a leper. A deep cowl hides their face, but cannot hide the fact that they are staring intently at where the Maiden of Manann lies at anchor. I want you to roll me a -10 perception test. You've passed or you failed?
I think that's a fail. Let me check here. Intelligence is 63.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a fail.
Okay. You want to roll that?
I can't. I've used all my luck.
Oh, all right. In that case, when this person heard you, it turned around. You don't see its face. It immediately bolts into the back alleys of the Sui Dock, moving with surprising speed. What do you do? Oh, by the way, sorry guys for this. Just a side no tangent from me. This is going to be a very hard campaign / adventure. I suggest not spending your luck on every single failed roll, if you know what I mean. Because when important rolls will come and you won't have luck. As I said, this will be a very hard game, completely different than the ones that we had with this party before. It's an honest, warning from me.
I'm not going to pursue the guy, but I am going to continue on to the latrine.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to peek out from behind the corner and see if he comes back.
Alright, you go to the latrine, you stumble slightly. You go behind the corner, you peek, but you don't see anything. You probably wait for a minute, maybe 2. Eventually your bladder really needs you to empty it. You see that the person, whoever it was, probably won't come back. But you are sure that they were observing the Maiden of Manann. You eventually, take a piss, go back to the interior of Honest Henrik's. Do you tell the rest of the crew about what you saw?
Yeah, and I'm almost wondering if somebody should go tell one of the guards on the ship. How close is it to our hotel?
Ship is very close. You can see it.
Oh, okay. Could we just walk there, or could one of us just walk there real quick?
Yeah, but Marla is like, come on, Gustav. Really, what are you going to tell them? That some homeless person was looking at the ship? Let's have some fun. I don't want, to be embroiled in another one of our usual just shitty investigation or something. I want to have fun. Lambert, what about you?
I don't like what I'm hearing. I'm naturally paranoid after all the shit I've been through. So I just want to stay up.
What do you mean stay up?
He came back up to the room to tell us about this, right?
To the common room.
Or
yeah.
like when I
Oh,
I mean, I presume that you're still in the common room finishing your drinks, and it's already really late, so you will probably head to your beds, but not yet.
in that case, anybody that's gonna go out there should go out there in pairs.
let's me and you go then.
All right.
So you get up and you go outside. Marla just sighs and gets up as well, cursing quietly under her nose. You go out into the middle of as I said, in the middle of Marienburg's night. It's cold, damp. It's not raining anymore, but still the wetness in the air is practically all-encompassing. You approach the Maiden of Manann, and you can see that, of course, there's this, there's the ramp leading to the ship, but it's guarded by what looks like two guards, dressed, armed and armored, very similarly to Axel from the Golden Trident. As you approach them, you can see that they have bucklers on their left hands. They have handguns hanging from their backs, and hands on the pommels of their swords. They immediately notice you when you approach, because you are the only people except for them on the street right now. And when you approach, one of them takes 2 steps forward, raises his hand. "Stop right there! Don't come any closer. This is private. This is a private ship," it says.
Okay.
"What do you want?"
We were just looking for a train, honestly.
"Well, it's not here." Marla just sighs and says, "Tell him about the fucking vagrant that you saw, that so we can return interior."
Right. No,
Or are you going to just play dumb?
There was some guy watching you, watching the boat.
I'm not the one that saw him.
They blink. Roll charm -10, Gustav. You've passed?
I think so, yeah.
He looks at you, he approaches you. How did he look?
He was kind of hunched. I'm gonna describe him as best I can. I didn't get a lot of details.
Your breath stinks of alcohol, he says. You saw a beggar, a homeless person watching the ship, and you think that we should be worried about it?
He saw me looking at him and he bolted. It's just that, look, I've never been on a ship like this before. Tomorrow we're leaving on our first voyage. I just want everything to go smooth. I know Manann is very temperamental.
You will join the crew of this ship?
I nod
Nice.
and pat Lambert on the back as well.
Well, you'll
Yeah.
be able to tell this to the captain tomorrow. I suggest you go get some sleep and perhaps pray that you won't smell as badly tomorrow as you do today. Drinking on a ship is, so much. Is probably not a good idea, he says. You see that he calmed slightly. He looked very irritated when you first approached him. But because of your role, he, like I said, he calmed a bit. That, although you don't think that he takes your warning seriously. I mean, you said about there's a guy looking at the ship and he ran away. Well, okay. Truly terrifying. Truly terrifying. I mean. With that, they bid you good night. They return to their post, and I presume that you return to inside.
Yeah.
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 All right. You, after returning to Honest Enric's, you're just exhausted. You go each to your room. You fall asleep. And the next morning, still perhaps slightly hungover, not too much, except for Johannes naturally. You get up bright and early, and you report abroad the Maiden of Manann. Now, as you get out from the inn, all four of you, probably after grabbing a breakfast, so deduce. Let me quickly see. Wait. Oh, here it is. So deduce 4 pennies each of you.
Okay.
Or 8 pennies if you also want to drink with that.
Nope.
Alright. So 4 pennies each of you. Gustav, please take care of Marla shit, alright? And take care of her money.
Okay.
I'll be much obliged. You go outside, and you can see that there are quite a few people standing outside the Maiden of Manann. Actually, there's probably more than 100 people, well over 100 people. Just standing in a large group right outside the ship. Mostly they look like sailors and deckhand types. Some of them are similar to the man who helped you with your arm last night, Gustav. Tough looking, heavily bearded and tattooed sailors, obviously very experienced when it comes to seafaring. They are practically all of them, all of the people here are armed in some manner, mostly with cutlasses, but some of them they have maybe short axes or cudgels. Others have rather improvised weapons such as belaying pins. Nothing too fancy. There are many young sailors, and you guess that these are just like you. They are called green hands. Excited young fellows. By the way, only men here, no women. Marla is the only woman around. They are.
I might have to. We might have to do something about this very fast.
They are talking, loudly between each other about adventures that they will have and riches that they will bring home. To impress beautiful ladies and maybe, earn some fame in the fabled new world. Then, finally, surrounded by a small group of black hats, there are about, maybe 40 something. People standing to the side. They look like criminals, honestly. They are they don't look nice, needless to say. They also don't look like sailors, at least most of them do. Most of them don't. Clean shaven, including the hair on their heads. Also heavily tattooed, but in a different manner, where many of the sailors have sea beasts, fish, tridents. These men have much more lewd-looking tattoos. They are scarred. They are, when some of them smile or talk to each other, you can see that lots of them don't have any teeth, or some teeth. They also don't look like they are armed. And Gustav, roll me common knowledge wasteland. Bran?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm looking for. There it is.
You know that these are probably convicts from Rieker's Isle. Marienburg's famous prison. You'd guess that they were press ganged, to be part of the crew, and that with their service they will work off their debt to the city. These are criminals, essentially, and from the look of it, hardened criminals. What happens now is that you wait for a good half an hour until you are, allowed on board the ship, because everyone needs to be checked. In the ledger, you see your mate Bill, the first mate. By the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but he's the first officer on board the ship. You also noted at some point eight sailors bringing lots of heavy-looking trunks and chests on board, cursing loudly. One of them carried also what looks like some kind of a musical instrument case, but given that none of you have, if I recall correctly, any experience with musical instruments, you have no idea what's inside. Now I am going to also give you a few handouts. So we have Maiden of Manann Deckhand 1 and Maiden of Manann Deckhand 2. And I'll also show you the Black Griffin Mercenaries. And finally,
These look like pirates.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
We have to
deckhand,
do something about Marla quick.
the deckhands or
Deckhands.
yeah. I mean, that's how sailors look back then, especially sailors in a place like that. Yeah. Now wait a second. I need to quickly check one thing.
Well, I say to Dietrich, forgive me if I'm mistaken, but didn't Herr Schaft say that there was going to be a priestess of Manann on board the ship?
Yeah.
This is true?
What? Sorry.
Yeah, there's going to be a priestess of Manann on the ship, right?
From what you've heard, yes. However, right now you are in the line, waiting to get on board. Probably you haven't seen every single one of of people presented here, important people presented here. So after like an hour, you would say, almost an hour, all of you, all of the deckhands are located on the main deck of the Maiden of Manann. Remember, the Maiden, like the Maiden's map that I've given you, it shows every single element of the ship. So right now you are on the so-called, if I'm not mistaken, it's called waist. You are looking in the waist. Some of the people are on the foredeck. Some of them are, sticking to the lines on all three masts, except the mizzenmast. And you are looking towards the upper deck. And so, as the ship is slowly being prepared to leave the harbor, you see that on the upper deck there emerge a few figures, and Bill, as well as few other designated, officers from the more experienced deckhands, they order everyone to be quiet because Captain will speak now. And first of all, once again, I will need you to look at the handout section. You see the captain, Marius van der Wiek. That's how he's in the handout section.
Fancy.
Yeah, he's a tall, rather imposing man with probably close to his 50s. He has long cloak. A very beautiful cutlass hangs on his left hip. He also has a dagger and a pistol. There's a leather satchel on his right hip from which a spyglass pokes out. He looks at everyone, but you can all see that there's no malice in his eyes. Actually, he looks expectantly, but rather positively at everyone gathered. Right next to him is to his left. There stands a woman of rather and just until someone lynches me, remember the realities in which we are playing. Of rather unusual skin color, because her skin is completely dark. Now you see probably Mother Akela in handouts. The woman in question has long blue robes, a peg leg made from what looks like bone. Even from the distance you can see that it is beautifully carved. Obviously a masterpiece of trade. She has a cutlass. She has earrings and jewelry and a necklace of obviously Mannanite charms, seashells, crab claws. She has this blue bandana on her head, and she smiles widely at everyone, showing perfectly white teeth, contrasting starkly with her dark skin, and making a symbol of Manann over everyone. You guess that this is probably the Mannanite priestess, even though she definitely doesn't look like your ordinary old world priest, especially probably to you, Johannes. She looks more like a pirate, you guess, or a privateer. That said, you can when she did the gesture, you felt rather than heard that lots of people here, lots of sailors, they some of them wave towards her, others bow. Some of them whisper, "This is Mother Akela, Mother Akela. Manann is with us. Glory to the albatross." Stuff like that. Now she's on the left side of Captain van der Wiek. On his right side is also another woman. That said, this one is, well, she definitely looks more familiar to your average old worlder, but she also definitely looks more like less pleasant to look at. You see Sieglinde Neuwald in the handout section. The woman in question is white. She has long blonde hair, with the right side of her head shaven, and the hair falling on the other side in a long braid. She has a very nasty, horrible, in fact, looking scar, as you can see on the handout, coming from her mouth practically towards her ear. 100%, earned in some battle. The sword at her hip looks better than the cutlass at Captain's hip. She has a main gauge. She has two very well-made pistols in a holsters in front of her, at the front of her belt. Of course, powder pouches and shot pouches. She also is armored in the same manner as the Black Griffins. Full leather armor, plate helmet, breastplate, bracers, leggings, and her clothes are obviously of good craftsmanship. You guess that this is the Kelno that you've heard about. Some of the sailors say, "This is Sieglinde Neuwald. She's the leader of the Black Griffins. Damn, she looks tough." Mostly things like that are mostly spoken by the younger sailors, the green hands. The older ones, the gruffer ones, they usually don't say anything, or if they do, they whisper to each other, and you don't hear them. Finally, on the left side of Captain, a man emerges, and he's probably the one that you are looking for, or rather that you'll be speaking to eventually, because he looks very different than the rest of the the assorted expedition leaders party. He's young, in fact. He's dressed in long white and blue clothes, actually robes rather, mostly white with elements of yellow and gold, and he has a blue tunic underneath them. His clothes are incredibly clean, much cleaner than they probably should be. Even the captain and the colonel, you can see that their uniforms show sign of wear and tear. Maybe they are patched here and there, and given the where they are right now, and the weather, stuff like that, there are probably few splashes of mud and water here and there. But this man is immaculately clean. He has and you probably would all know that, Verenan symbol hanging on his neck. He has blonde hair, and he looks incredibly polite and scholarly. You guess that this is the Magister von Stiftanzer that you've been told about in Naudorf by your friend Corbinian Shrek, the representative of the Light College of Magic from Audorf. And in fact, some of the sailors, actually quite a few of them, whisper, "Look, a mage, a wizard, a witch." Some of them, actually quite a few of them probably, again, make some kind of a warding symbol. You know that in front of you stands one of the fabled magicians of the Imperial Colleges of Magic, and given how he looks, you think that he probably, I mean, you're not sure, but you guess that he seems more important and powerful than Corbinian. On the other hand, he doesn't have any weapon. He doesn't have a staff like Shrek did. He only has this cane. Although he doesn't look like like he's ailing or anything, that he needs to lean on it. So yeah, so that's what you see. Do you want to talk to each other? Because you can see that the captain will probably speak very soon, but you guess that you have maybe half a minute to speak about something.
I just elbow.
Sorry, Sean, you are far away from your microphone.
Oh, sorry, I moved it up out of the way so you wouldn't hear me burping.
No worries.
So I elbow Dietrich in the ribs and say, "See, there's women on this boat. Don't be such a worrywart."
My eyes are still scanning the crowd carefully. I'm still unsure of this.
I mean, you've noticed without even rolling that quite a few people look at Marla here. She also seems to be aware of that, but she's trying not to let others know that she's aware that they are looking at her. Definitely in the crowd of sailors, she's the only woman.
Maybe we should take her to the priestess.
"I can think for myself, Gustav, thank you," she says. You don't have to babysit me. But you can hear that her voice is quite strained. Some of the mercenaries, of the Black Griffin mercenaries, are mixed with sailors, or rather mostly staying at the edges of the group. Others, you can see, are located on the Maiden of Manann upper deck, standing guard behind the captain and probably the rest of the expedition leaders, handguns in hand, making sure that no one will do anything unwise. So there's this long silence as the captain looks at all of you, and eventually he says, "Friends and comrades, Welcome to the Maiden of Manann. We'll set sail very soon towards New World, towards Lustria, the land of gold. Make no mistake, this is not going to be an easy trek. We have an entire ocean to cross, and before that we'll take 2 stops in the harbors of the Old World, Languil and Los Cabos. When we reach New World, riches and fame will await us, and we will all return, not only more wealthy, but also with tall tales to tell around the campfires and near fireplaces. I expect all of you to do their duty, to obey your superiors, and to make sure that this voyage will end up in nothing less than a total success. This here is Mother Akela, a Mennonite priest of the Order of the Albatross. The dark-skinned woman once again nods her head and smiles wryly at all of you. She will make sure that fair winds and calm seas will await our voyage. This is Colonel Zieglinde Neuwald from the Black Griffin's mercenary company. Her and her men will keep us safe, although remember that if anything happens on the waters, I expect every man and woman on board of the ship to take part in defending it, and their comrades. Neuwald, you think that she clearly doesn't enjoy being on a ship, but she simply very briskly nods her head. Unlike Mother Akela, she doesn't smile. You don't even think that she probably can smile. Finally, there's Magister Klaus von Stiftanzer. He's a licensed wizard from the Light College in Aldorf. It's because of the funding received from his college that we are able to organize this expedition. Magister von Stiftanzer, I would like to remind everyone, is outside of anyone's jurisdiction, except, of course, except for mine, as long as we are on the sea, as I am the captain and my word here is akin to the word of God. When you've heard that, Johannes, you probably winced uncontrollably, I would say.
No, because it's as of the word of the Emperor, who is Sigmar's representative on Earth.
The Emperor, yes, but this man is not Emperor, and you know that in the Old World there are very few men and women who would be bold enough to say that they are akin to gods. Usually most people don't say that because it can bring the wrath of the gods upon them.
Right. Well, no, but I'm just saying that in the hierarchy, much like the father is the emperor of the family.
Oh, I get.
Is the emperor of the
Fuck
ship.
off.
I get. And finally, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say this is going now to my history of science and philosophy in China background.
Okay.
Oh, this is very true. Yeah, I am controlled and manipulated by many forces that are not myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, Captain continues his speech. If any of you will become ill or suffer any wounds, Dr. Renata Wackliger, the ship's surgeon, will help you. She is currently preparing her medical equipment in her quarters. Willem Bilschaft is is the ship's first mate and my first officer. He speaks with my voice. You will also obey his orders to the letter. Now I can only wish you safe sail, good luck, and may Manann watch over us. We sail to Lustria. But you can hear that this man is not exactly, he's not a skilled orator, or rather, maybe he doesn't want to be a skilled orator. He speaks rather calmly, but with steady, commanding voice. Most men around you listen to his every word. There are no one is snickering, no one is laughing, of course. Maybe you hear a few grumbles here and there, very quietly, especially from the convicts, who are, of course, they are not, being watched by the Black Hats, since the Black Hats remained on shore, but they are being closely watched by the Black Griffins that are nearby. And so the captain says, "Now, onto your station. We set sail immediately." And with that, you can see that indeed some of the sailors have already, what's the word when you disentangle the ropes that hold the ship to the...
Undone the moorings.
Undone the moorings, thank you. And a few larger boats, they began to tow the Maiden of Manann and help her, as of course the ship opens all of the sails, drops the sails. All of them have the symbol of twin-tailed comet, by the way, which is probably pretty strange for a ship in Marienburg, but remember, the expedition is paid for the colleges of magic in Naudorf, so maybe it makes sense. And besides, you don't know to whom the ship really belongs. And so you make your, the ship, the Maiden of Manann, makes its way towards Manann's port. You would, the Manann's port sea, you know this, Gustav, to be the exit from Marienburg. From there, all of the ships leave Marienburg towards the open sea. And immediately, of course, there are people are being directed to their stations by the officers under Bill. The officers under Bill are, as I said, they are they look like they're the more experienced sailors. So you have probably a few minutes before it's your turn. You can maybe ask around if you want, get some gossip, or you can try and immediately find your assignment. What do you want to do? Gustav, starting with you.
I'm going to turn to Marla and ask what she wants to do here.
Well, she says, I want to wait for someone to tell me what to do. She looks around. Fortunately, right now there are so many people just running around doing their own thing that no one's really taking closer look at her. But you know that this won't last long. And yeah, you are standing in the in the middle of this really huge group of people. Probably you've been told that almost 180 sailors are present here. And you hear shouting, crying, laughing. People are talking, cursing. You feel like honestly you're on a busy street in the middle of Aldorf, and not on a ship that is right now ready to leave port. Johannes, what are you doing?
I'm looking for someone who looks like a leader, so that I can ask him what I'm supposed to do.
Roll me perception test.
Okie dokes. Boop.
Yeah, you see a grizzled old sailor directing a bunch of new green hands, to their stations, saying, "You take care of the lines on this mast here. Make sure that they are all well, and and don't let anything happen to them." Stuff like that. And they, of course, they all look at him, awestruck, and say, "Yes, of course, sir." So you guess that he's some kind of one of Bill's subordinates. You guess.
Okay. So I go up to him and say, "Reporting for duty, sir."
He looks at you. What's your name? Land dog? Sorry,
Johannes.
Land grabber. Johannes,
Yeah.
eh? You
Yes.
you definitely look like a green hand.
Yes, sir.
Very well, Johannes. You go under. You go down under towards the towards the hold. You join people there who make sure that our supplies of water, food, and gunpowder are all stored efficiently and securely.
Yes, sir.
And
I go off.
yeah,
Go off to wherever the hole is to get to the hold.
you probably go down to the hold. Funnily enough, you notice that he doesn't follow you around, so you guess that it probably wouldn't be hard to tell him that, yeah, sure, I'm going to do that, and then just go somewhere else. Because as I said, there's a lot of going on. All of you also notice that the expedition leaders, they've disappeared. They probably returned to their private quarters. Remember, all of you don't have any idea how living on a ship works, this kind of ship, and how it is actually divided. So you would probably need to learn from someone the layout of the ship, because right now you have no idea, how it works. Lambert, what about you?
I grab Marla's, I jab Marla in the hip because I only come up to that, and go up to the same man and said, "Her and I are cooks. Where do we go?"
You're a designated cook. You don't look like a cook to me. Help this man, and he points at Johannes. Go down the hold, take care of our supplies, make sure that they all fine, and that nothing is happening to them.
Huh?
Hello?
Sorry, you're cutting out.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a second there.
What about now?
Yeah, you're
Now
fine
you're
now.
Alright, so the man says, follow this man, and he points at Johannes. Go down to the hold at the bottom of the ship and make sure that our supplies are all secured and ready to go. You don't look like a cook to me, he says, essentially.
Alright.
I'm gonna follow Lambert.
Alright, so all of you, practically, including Mara, you go down to the hold. Alright, so now, and I know that I've been doing this a lot today, exposition here, exposition there, but this part will be heavily exposition based. So now what I want to tell is that, first of all, Sean, you've noted that today is 3rd of whatever the month it was.
Ulrichsite.
Yeah, 3rd of Ulrichsite, thank you, which means Ulrichstide, by the way. And what this means is that today is Angestag. So that's the most important part. Now, how this works. As the Maiden tacks out past Ricker's Isle and out into the open waters of the Manansport Sea, grey fins soon appear in the turbulent water of the ship's wake. And by the way, you see this because you still make your way around the ship, asking for directions, stuff like that. So you all see this before you go under the deck. A grizzled old sailor leans on the rail and throws them a lump of grey meat from his pocket. A blunt grey snout breaks the surface, giving a moment's glimpse of a soulless black eye and a yawning mouth full of razor-sharp teeth before the morsel is swallowed down. These are grey barbed sharks, the most voracious and least discerning predators of the Sea of Claws. "Got to give Stromfell skippies their due," croaks the sailor. "If you don't feed them now, their master will be sending his storms to feed them off us all the same." He cackles like a madman. Yeah, so...
No, that seems pretty wise.
Yes. So, I guess that all of you also ask about how the ship works, right? How it's divided, stuff like that. Okay. This is important, so please remember that. There's Stern Castle, and I suggest that as I'm talking this, you look at the map of the Maiden, at the sketch of the Maiden. Stern Castle. It contains the captain's cabin and the quarters of the other expedition leaders. It is off limits to common sailors. Gun deck. It contains 12 light cannons, 6 to a side, This is where the Maiden's crew sleep in hammocks when they are not on watch, including you. This is where you sleep. There are no individual rooms. Draughts from the gun ports and overhead hatches make this deck cold and damp when at sea. You dread to think that you spent practically a month and a half in single direction and then another month and a half in sleeping like that. It looks like it doesn't even look unpleasant. It looks downright dreadful. Forecastle contains the ship's firebox and galley kitchen where communal meals are prepared. This is probably the place that you'll be most interested in, Lambert, since you'll almost certainly find the main cook there. Middle deck, passenger quarters, where Sieglinde's mercenaries are billeted. Mostly open, the rear has some wooden partitions that can be used to make cabins for wealthier passengers. You very quickly learn that poor air circulation in this deck leads to persistent bad smells. And finally, there's the hold, your first assignment. Storage for provisions and ballast. On leaving Marienburg, the hold is almost completely filled with barrels of food, beer, gunpowder and ammunition. However, the floor is not flat, and staked and bilge water gives the hold a persistent reek. You also noticed when you went down there and began your shift that this is a favorite haunt of the ship's rats, who are strikingly numerous for a new built ship. All of you noticed that there are lots of rats here. As you settled into your new quarters and your new duties, I've already introduced you to the various other members of the expedition. Now Magister and this already happens for the next few days. So as I've said, this is the exposition that you get before you reach Languille. Although relax, you'll be able to do something before you reach it. Magister von Stiftanzer, from what you've heard, is apparently something of a dandy, as it took 8 men to carry all his luggage aboard. Probably the men that you saw lugging all those chests and crates and the musical instrument. They were probably carrying his luggage. That said, when you saw him, even though he never mingles with normal crew, he appears to be brimming with the most enthusiasm for the voyage ahead. He's constantly smiling, he's very cheerful, almost uncharacteristically so. Marius van der Veek, you've noticed over the next few days that even though he has a reputation as a strict but experienced sea captain, not many of people on board have sailed with him. Most of the crew, in fact, are walking on eggshells until probably they'll get the measure of his character. You noticed, because he likes to mingle with the crew, he likes to walk between them and ask them questions if they are fine, some word of encouragement right here and there, that he is missing his left canine tooth. Willem Bilschaft, as I've mentioned, he's the first mate. He has an affable nature, and many of the old hands count themselves among his former shipmates. Renata Wackliger is the ship's surgeon. From what you've learned about her, she's a sweet dog, back alley barber surgeon who has been tempted to sea in the same manner as you were. And now the sailors deride her as a hopeless landlubber. Landlubber is, someone who never sailed before. The crew of the Maiden. There are 78 old hands, experienced seamen who have sailed all over the old world and beyond, cynical but good-humored. They enjoy making fun of the new recruits, including you. 51 green hands, including you, volunteers signed on in Marienburg on the promise of fame and riches to be found in the new world. They are mostly young, unskilled, and perhaps a little naive about what lies ahead. And finally, 46 branded men, convicts from Rierker's Isle, sold to the expedition by the governor to fill out the numbers of the crew and work off their debt to the city. Then there's Colonel Sieglinde Neuwald, commander of the Black Griffins, both feared and respected by her men. She is of aristocratic Reiklander stock and bears a deep scar on the right side of her face. The brothers Horst, Sieglinde's right and left hands, Otto and Axel Horst, the men that you've seen in the Golden Trident, are the standard bearer and bugler of the griffins. Otto is the older of the two and built like an ox, while Axel is so young that he must have joined the company while he was still a boy. Their loyalty to Sieglinde and the griffins runs deep. The Black Griffins, 88 heavily armed mercenaries out of the Rakeland. The Griffins must have cost a small fortune to retain for this expedition. Some of the seamen are already deriding them as glory boys for the fact that they will not be expected to do any of the hard work of sailing the ship, but their credentials as soldiers are not in dispute. And finally, Mother Akela, a Mannonite priest of the Order of the Albatross. Akela has been brought aboard to ensure fair winds and calm seas for the voyage ahead. With a peg leg of narval ivory and a necklace of seashells and crab claws, she is already revered among the sailors as a very holy woman and a good luck totem for the ship. Now, do you want to gossip with the other sailors to perhaps learn more about the expedition, the party, stuff like that?
I would like to. I guess would it be gossip or charm to see if one of the deckhands will, take me under the wing to teach me how to do shit.
You mean the old hands? Yes.
Yeah.
It will be charm, but these are two completely different roles. Do you want to hear? Because as I said, I just want to ask if you guys want to hear rumors or perhaps learn more about with whom you will be working. And after that, Michael, sure, you'll be able to, to charm yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll gossip.
Gustav, do you also want to gossip?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start from left to right. So first Gustav, then Johannes, then Lambert, and count me not only degrees of success but also degrees of failure. So Gustav, you have 28, so you've obviously passed. How many successes do you have?
Fellowship is 50. God damn it. 54, so that's 2 successes, is that right?
Okay, so you have 2 successes. So what you've learned as you are talking with sailors, probably not with Black Griffins so much, but because I'll tell you how every single member of the trip and their men act soon. You've learned 2 things. First of all, the College of Light haven't paid for this expedition alone. They secured co-founding from the Marienburg merchant house of Knagen, who own the ship and will take a share of the profits. And the second one is, this is Captain van der Week's first real command in a long time. He had some kind of breakdown and was on shore for 2 years. This is what you've learned, Gustav.
Okay.
Now, I would like for Johannes to roll.
Yeah, I rolled. I rolled too early, so I have 1 degree of failure.
All right. So what you've learned, unless you want to reroll that, of course, Sean. Maybe you won't.
No, that's fine.
You've learned that Magister von Stiftanzer has Captain van der Week under a magical geese, and this expedition is the captain's only way to pay off his debt.
Oh, makes sense.
Yes. Remember, if the fact you failed, your character don't.
Yeah.
Lambert, roll me gossip. You've also.
Yeah.
You have luck that you want to spend?
I don't have any luck left.
Alright, so what you've learned is that Captain van der Week is deathly afraid of rats and won't abide them on any ship he sails in.
Oh, alright.
Yes. Now, you only have a few hours to settle in before the tide turns and the order is given to make sail. You're off on an adventure. And I've already described the leaving of Marienburg, sailing out onto the open waters of the Manansport Sea. Now, the first stage of the Maiden's voyage is to sail out into the rough waters of the Sea of Claws. I want all of you to roll me -10 toughness tests, including Marla, but starting with you, Gustav. Okay. You've passed, Gustav, I presume.
Toughness 45, so yeah.
Johannes?
I have failed.
Okay.
Oh, I failed. I'm puking my guts out.
Yeah. Now I'm going to roll for Marla. Okay, you rolled for her. She also failed. She is not going to roll that. So, what happens is that, except for Gustav, you are all affected by seasickness. You have a -10 penalty to agility, willpower, and fellowship until you, get accustomed to life on a ship. You don't know how long it will take.
Agility, willpower, and what?
Agility, willpower, and fellowship. And what this means, that except for Gustav, you are not able to really notice anything happening around you regarding the expedition leaders of the Maiden, as the Maiden itself gets out to sea. Because, yes, you are in fact, when not doing your duties aboard the ship, like scrubbing the deck, helping with sails, stuff like that, you are just puking on the, on the other side of the, what's the word?
Hopefully on the downwind side.
Yeah, what's the word when you, not the rail, I think.
Railing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the rail.
Behind on the other side of the rail. You feel dreadful. Gustav, you feel relatively well, in fact, and so you are able to observe the expedition leaders as I said, as the Maiden, set sail into the waters of the Sea of Claws. Captain van der Beek is almost always on deck, closely supervising the work of the crew. Though a little standoffish, he seems almost as anxious to make a good impression on the sailors as they are to avoid getting on the wrong side of their captain. Given his supposed reputation for strictness, they find his praise and kind words a little off-putting and continue to keep a respectful distance. Colonel Neuvold quickly appears bored by the confines of shipboard life. When the weather permits, she gets some of the Black Griffins up on deck for firing drills and sparring practice. When it doesn't, she drinks and plays cards, in moderation of course, with her men on the middle deck. Just so you know, if any of you wants to play cards with her, you won't be able to. Black Griffins are, they are, an elite kind of club. Yeah, insular. They don't mingle with the sailors, sadly. Magister von Stiftanzer is wretchedly seasick for days after leaving Marienburg, barely leaving his cabin. In fact, the stories coming from the sailors, regarding the horrible noises coming from his cabin, are quickly becoming quite popular. Once he gets over the worst of it, he regains some of his cheerful disposition and can be seen on deck studying the seabirds that follow in the wake of the ship. He will... I've almost said too much. Almost. And finally, Mother Akela. Mother Akela can be seen practically everywhere aboard the Maiden, visiting every deck and making herself a friend to every soul on board, including you, Gustav, and, in fact, all of you, Johannes, Lambert, and Marla. The sailors even rig her a pulley so she can get up to the mast without tangling her peg leg in the rigging. Her tall tales of previous voyages are some of the best entertainment aboard ship, and she will minister to anyone afflicted with seasickness with her own remedy of black pepper and neat brandy, which is honestly, while quite tasty, doesn't really help with seasickness that much. Now, all of you learned that the Maiden has 2 ports of call along the western coast of the Old World before she sets out into the open waters of the Great Ocean: the Bretonnian port city of Languille and the settlement of Los Cabos on the tip of the Estalian Peninsula. The Maiden will apparently reach Languille on the 6th of Ulrichzeit and Los Cabos on the 14th. Captain van der Beek allows limited shore leave at Languille and Los Cabos, with the Maiden spending only a single day in each port. So you'll be able to go on shore and have some leisure and relaxation, of course, after making sure that that you'll be able to with your supervising officer, either with Bill or one of the old hands who are working as his subordinate officers, because life on ship is based on shifts. Some of you will have night shifts, the so-called graveyard shifts, very hard, but also usually rather calm, like nothing happens then. There is just that you can't sleep. That's the problem. And of course there are the day shifts, which are very busy, very exhausting, and well, yeah, that's it. And so yes, so that's that, I think. Now, what do you want to do in the 3 days before you reach Languille?
I would like to charm, I guess make a charm roll, to try and get somebody to teach me something, like get me up in the riggings to, work out of the crow's nest, or
but do you want still to
how to work
perhaps
the knots, maybe being the cooks.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask.
Yeah.
Do you still want to try and become a cook with Marla?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to do this, Michael? With whom are you going to speak about this?
I gotta go into the fox deck and talk to the cook.
Doctor?
I'm going with him to become a cook too.
Okay.
I'm learning how to kill rats.
You want to become a cook? Okay, Johannes, what are you doing in that case?
I want to learn how to kill rats effectively.
So you mostly stay in the hold and hunt for rats with the other sailors. All right. Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's not engineering science. Most of the sailors just use the weapons that they have, hatchets or cutlasses, and cut them to pieces. Some of them smash them with with clubs or with belaying pins. Few even manage to acquire some kind of primitive spears made from long pieces of wood, and they just skewer them with them. As I've said, there are lots of rats here, very, very large amount of rats, and you do know that even though your supplies are being are well secure right now, with such large amount of rodents, there could be trouble with food and water, especially if they contaminated. You two, Johannes and Gustav, and probably take Marla with you when you have just a few minutes of briefer in between your duties, as you sail the turbulent waves of the Sea of Claws. The sky is practically almost overcast, and the weather, especially on board the deck, is very chilly, and you are grateful that you have long coats. Some of the sailors, they've been eyeing them with huge envy, as they are much more lightly dressed than you are. You make your way to the forecastle, and it's practically, it almost always smells of food being cooked there, because with so many people aboard, the kitchen works 24/7. There's a huge man there with two of his probably helpers, subordinates. He's not fat per se, he's powerful built. He has impressive mustache, durag on his head, meat cleaver the size of practically of a battle axe in his hand. And he kinda gives you the feeling that he's a rather no-nonsense person. I'm going to upload him later. I don't have the handout right now. As you enter the cramped confines of the kitchen, he looks at you. Yeah, do you want? It's no time for eating just yet.
I am Herr Cherryheart. These are my compatriots, my assistant Marla. And you are, sir?
I am Guido Bolst, the main cook on board Maiden of Manann. These are my helpers, Heinz and Hellmans.
That's very nice to meet you, boys. I was a trained cook in the Moot, and then served again in a very fine coaching inn in Altdorf. I was wondering if I could work the kitchens with my assistant cook Marla.
He looks at you for a long time. So you say you know how to cook, but do you know how to cook for a few hundred men?
I know how to cook for halflings.
Well, this ain't no fancy place in Aldorf, my small friend. Unless
Halflings just eat for days.
I see. Tell you what, you surprise me with a meal prepared fast and tasting well enough not to warrant a riot on board, and I might just let you into my outfit. You and that lovely lass of yours.
Oh, yeah, that's I can do that.
Assuming that she can do something more than just look pretty, he says, and he leers.
Oh, she's capable.
What about me?
What about you? He says.
I chop onions.
Yeah, well, we can do that as well. Perhaps go be busy somewhere else.
I'm not stepping
I
to your
look at
defense here,
Lambert.
man. I'm not stepping to your defense here. You're not a cook.
Well,
Okay, I mean, yeah. You want me to go? I'll go.
Yeah.
yes, yes, we want you to go. Go, says the cook. And so you go.
I like Gustav just fine, but man's not a cook. I think he just tagged along.
Well, we don't need no cooks here. Only those who know how to work cooking utensils and ingredients. Now, little man, show me what you got.
All right. So what do I have access to?
If you have, I mean, back in the day on a ship like this, before people were forced to eat, salted fish, dried meat, stuff like that, hardtack especially. Actually, for quite a few days, maybe even weeks, people ate rather well because the holds were the holds were stacked with fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, flour, smoked meats, even fresh meat and fish. So honestly, when you see what you have to work with, that's not one's kitchen. It's not one's kitchen, of course. And there are practically no spices here, nothing except maybe salt and
That's
few
fine.
and few
I can.
and few basic
Cool.
herbs, but you can probably create something rather tasty from this stuff.
I'm gonna work real quick on this. I'm gonna tell Marla what to do, and it's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I need her to chop apples.
Mhm.
I need her to chop up pork, and to start oil heating up in a big pan. And while she's doing that, I'm going to mix flour and 1 egg and water into a dough, and roll that out simple, and pack them with fry off the pork and the apples in the oil first, and then pack it into the dough, wrap it up in empanadas, kind of dumplings, and fry those off.
All right, sure. I presume that you also take your time. Maybe not for a total of plus 30%, because time on a ship is of the essence. So I can give you.
Well, I also have a plus 10 already.
Okay, so I can give you a total of plus 20% to roll. And plus 10 from Marla.
Boom.
So
Boom.
plus
Boom.
So plus 30. Oh yeah.
Gordon Ramsay right here, baby.
Yeah. You very quickly and very efficiently, with help of Marla,
Put out a plate, a dozen of these dumplings.
Yeah, prepare a huge pile of Estalian empanadas. Or rather just some dumplings with pork and apples, and
Pierogis, yeah.
Pierogis, yeah. Pierogis are. I had some yesterday. Good stuff. And you can see that Guido and his assistants, from being slightly skeptical after you've told them that that you work at a fancy inn, stuff like that, they just looked completely awestruck and very intently at what you're doing. And when you eventually gave them, I presume, a plate full of those dumplings to try, they took them with almost shaking hands because they smell really good. Guido took a huge bite of one. He munches and he's like, this is good. This is good. What's your name again, halfling?
Lambert.
And Lambert, just Lambert, or
Lambert Cherryheart.
Lambert Cherryheart. you and your assistant are officially hired. You work with me in the
Good.
kitchen from now on.
Very good.
I
We
will.
won't disappoint.
I will make all the necessary arrangements with Bill. Make sure that you will be transferred here without any problems. This is excellent. Isn't that right, Heinz Hellmans? Oh yeah. True, that's right. Yeah, Heinz and Hellmans
Kraft.
is my it's
Good food keeps morale high. Morale high keeps people working hard.
There was the third brother Kraft, but he fell into the well, sadly.
Okay.
Well, what about Hellman's?
No, he's got both.
He's here, Heinz and Hellmans.
Oh, there we go.
When I was running this,
We're talking. These are the mayonnaise brothers, or
yeah.
What about best foods?
One's ketchup.
Where's Cool Whip?
One's ketchup, one's mayonnaise. Yeah. So you practically immediately got hired, and Guido sent, let's say, Heinz to speak with Bill. And because this is a ship, and as I said, every second counts, you almost immediately got yourselves an apron and started working in the kitchen. Gustav, you returned, sadly, to the main deck, where you were accosted by one of the old hands, shouting practically in your ear, "I see you're not doing anything right now, maggot. This part of the deck needs cleaning. On your knees and get to work." And with that, he pointed to a nearby bucket full of rather dirty water and a filthy rag emerging from it. And well, even though it's very cold, very windy, miserable in fact, you didn't have any choice and just started, scrubbing the deck. Johannes, you are killing the rats. And so, I think we'll end this here right now, because we did all the necessary introductions. You've settled in. I've told you about the crew, who's in charge, who's who, stuff like that. And so for today, I think we'll call it a day. It's rather late, but from the next session, well, we'll probably practically start in Languil. Remember, you have a single day in Languil and Los Cabos to do whatever you want, right? Okay, so for today's game, everyone gets 75 points. For your characters, everyone gets 10, of course. For your place of birth, Gustav, what about you?
I said a couple things. I said, like, welcome to the center of the world.
I mean, you were telling them about Marienburg, I think. You were talking about Suidok and Dudkanal, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, Johannes asked where the docks are. I'm like, you're in Marienburg. They're everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's very cool. Sure. Yeah, I'll give you 10 points. Yeah.
Actually, I asked where the seamen are.
Okay. I'll give you 10 points. What about you, Johannes?
I said a lot of things about the Empire in general, but I'm not sure if that was more. I felt like that was a little bit more religion related than. But I mean, I was annoying in that regard, I guess, as being obviously Sigmar, this and that. So
I think this goes under the religion tab more than the Empire tab.
Yeah.
I even tried to, actually, wait, you did say something about Marienburg to Bill, I think, when you did say something to him that he found kinda irritating, and it wasn't Sigma related per se. It was It was about the emperor, stuff like that. The emperor on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The captain is the emperor on the
yeah,
ship.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for that, I will give you 5 points. That's good enough.
Okay, that
That's cool. Lambert, Moot.
I profess that I was a moot-trained cook to both Bill and to the cook.
Moot train. Okay, that's true.
And that cooking for halflings is just as hard as cooking for sailors, because they're always eating.
Yeah, and you've also mentioned Aldorf. Aldorf was. You also spent some time there. Okay, I can give you 10 points. Religion. Gustav.
I don't think I did anything Shalian or Ronaldin, but I kind of
You've mentioned Manann, I think.
I said something about Manann.
Okay.
For
5 points.
context.
5 points. Johannes, 10 points, of course. No doubt about that.
Nothing for me.
Yeah, Lambert, nothing. Star sign, Gustav.
The dancer. I danced with Marlos.
Yeah, that's true. And you've and you had fun right the night before leaving Marienburg, of course. So I can give you 10 points. Johannes, what about you?
I'm the piper. I don't think I did any wheeling and dealing that I can.
Yeah.
I've just been sort of a yes man or whatever.
That's true. That's true. Lambert, what about you?
Wyman the anchorite. I've done pretty good at holding my tongue a lot here, but mostly in the case of that final knife throw, testing the knife before throwing just to ensure that I was not being cheated.
Mm-hmm. So Wyman the anchorite. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, 10 points. Sure. Dooming, Gustav.
From the darkness cometh the raven.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't let it go with the guy watching the ship.
Okay, gotcha. 10 points. You think that it was important enough to... Actually, no, sorry, you know what? No. I think I'll give you 5. You know why? Because you didn't follow him. You think it was important, right? And you didn't check the alley that he went into?
I kind of saw that as like potentially too dangerous to do by myself.
True. Yeah, and later you did told this to your crew and you went to the ship's guards. Okay, I can give you 10, sure. I still think that probably... I mean, of course, I would play it like that. It's easy for me to say. I would probably even, out of sheer dumb curiosity, go to the alley to see. But fair enough, 10 points, you earned it. No problemo. Johannes, what about you?
Beware the man that is not a man.
wow.
I don't think I did anything.
You're the man who's done.
What?
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. Lambert.
Not this time.
Yeah.
Thy tongue shall be thy undoing. I don't really think I pushed my luck on anything this time.
No, not this time. I was actually very curious if you would try, especially with the officers.
I'm in a completely unknown, so
Yeah.
I gotta get comfortable before I can get sassy.
True. So you also get 5 points for Halfling. I don't think there were any ideas that helped push the scenario forward today. Now, just before our next game, I would like to remind everyone, you are all deckhands essentially. So sailing the ship is hard, unrelenting work, and it consumes most of your time and energy each day. So if you want to do anything, you need to make sure that you can do this either during your shift when no one is watching, which is very hard to do, or off your shift, after your shift. However, after your shift, and you've learned this literally after the first day of sailing, you practically feel only pain in your legs and arms. Yes, this includes you, Lambert, and Marla, because even though you are working in a kitchen, you are cooking for practically 300 people. So this is just a war camp, if you excuse my horrible analogy here. Okay, so I gave you the points. Sean, you were making your notes for the third time, or
No, it was.
it'll be me.
Okay. You
Yeah.
are making your notes for the third time or the first time?
Yeah.
Third time.
This is my third time. I'll have them up in a minute.
Yeah, so add yourself, Michael, 30 experience points, of course. And next time someone else makes notes.
Yeah, it's my turn next one.
Yep, have fun. Oh, and remember, if you forgot about about some detail regarding one of the expedition leaders or the sailors or griffins, then ask me. I have everything in this scenario. As I said before, the Maiden of Manann will become your home for the next month and a half. So yes, right. As for the next game. I can play on the 20th of July. Just let me know if you're available.
The 20th is doable. The week after that, from the 24th through the oh shit, really? Sorry.
Maybe the 20th.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong month. There we go. I'll be at the beach in the week after the 20th.
Okay, I mean 20th is fine. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I could do the 20th.
Okay, so
I have to go. I have to go shoot guns at 4:00 that day. But other than that, I'm good.
so American, nice. Okay, so for now we are playing on the 20th. If anything, of course, comes up, we'll think about new date. But for now, thank you guys. This was very fun. Temple of Tepok is very cool.
I really like this.
Yeah, and it's a change of pace. I know that there was a lot of me talking, but it's important for you to just understand and learn the details of this ship and the crew, because let's face it, you'll be with them for quite a long time. Yeah.
Till they all die.
Yes, or you will. Okay, so in that
All right,
case, bye bye. See you later, guys.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.